So I want to talk about this because I see a lot of people, really a lot of Democrat politicians and a lot of people who are on the Democrat side, the DNC side, they're trying to gather a bunch of sympathy for this YT woman, all right, who was unalived by an ICE agent. I'm pretty sure you guys know we're not breaking the news here. She was unalived by an ICE agent. She was in her car. She was trying to block them. Then an ICE agent got in front of the car. She tried to get out, drive off. Boo op the bam. Okay, we don't need to explain what happened because we are on TikTok, so you guys can find out for yourself. But this is garnering a lot of protests, and people are, like, say her name, Renee, and all of this stuff, and it's not really hitting the way that George Floyd hit. It's not really. People are looking at this situation, especially black folk, are looking at the situation like, I mean, she wasn't really in the right like that. Like, I mean, maybe it was excessive. I think no black people are not making fun of the situation, but we're looking at it like, y'all trying to make her out to be some type of just helpless victim who was just randomly attacked by some ICE agent, and that's not what happened. We're gonna tell the truth. So they're not really getting a lot of the sympathy that they want for her. So they keep trying to make this comparison between her and George Floyd because it happened to happen in the same state. So they're like, well, this is what injustice do. This is fascism. This is Trump's America. This is a fascist regime where the police get to go around and they're trying to, they get to have impunity and they get to be judge, jury, and executioner like they were with George Floyd. I saw Jasmine Crockett bring up George Floyd. I even saw Fox News bring up George Floyd. And I'm starting to see a lot of people bring up George Floyd. And I don't like that at all, to be very honest with you. I
Fuck
don't
all
like
that
that
bullshit,
one
man.
bit.
All life
Not
matters, okay? You
okay,
can't
you
see
need
it
to
up
stop.
here.
No,
The man, no, we're gonna get him out of here. That's the man Halo was eating up on the panel because he came up there to get it involved in women business. A panel full of
okay.
women discussing something. Here he come. He's a troll.
Yeah.
He's just a
I
troll.
do not like that. Okay. So, okay. You literally cheered Charlotte. No, that's not what happened. Don't lie in the chat room. So anyway, it's not the same thing. Floyd was a helpless victim. Okay, he was handcuffed. He was not a danger to anybody. George Floyd wasn't the slightest bit a threat to anybody whatsoever. He was 100% subdued and his life was taken from him just because. No legitimate reason, absolutely just because. All right? That's not the same with this woman. Okay? Whether you can say
Well,
it
let's
was
talk about
accept.
the foundation of the Black Lives Matter. How she,
Let's shut
Oh
up
my
and go
God.
on mute.
Damn, damn.
What?
Oh, we was about to be one of them
What?
live.
We look, it's about to be one of those, y'all. It's
Yes.
oh boy, it's about to be one of those. We ain't even start the conversation yet.
Let me.
Okay,
There's
but
over
let me
170
wrap up
in
then.
the
Let me
room.
hurry up.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not the same. George Floyd couldn't harm nobody. He was not a threat to anybody. And his life was taken just because she was. She was doing something illegal. She was obstructing justice. Whether you can say it's excessive or not, or what happened shouldn't have happened or not, she did. She was a threat. Okay, she didn't comply. And she was in her vehicle could have, whether she intended to or not, intent doesn't matter at the time. Whether she intended to or not, her vehicle could have been used as a weapon. Her vehicle is a weapon in that scenario. Whether she was going to use it as a weapon or not is irrelevant in the comparison to George Floyd, who didn't have any type of weapon. All right? Come on, let's tell the truth about that. Now, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who are upset. No. It's a lot of immigrants who are upset because they want people to sacrifice themselves for them. And I'm saying that black people shouldn't be doing that. Foundational Black Americans shouldn't be doing that because y'all don't do that for nobody. So we shouldn't be doing that. Okay. But I'm here to to dispel the comparisons that they're trying to make or the similarities that they're trying to make. They're trying to make this some type of parody or something like that. They're trying to make this some comparison or some parallel rather. And it's not that. It's not that. But I'm a land there because I know a lot of people already fired up. We already got a couple hundred people in the room. So let's get started. Zizi, I know you talked about this on YouTube. I don't know if you want to add anything else
Man,
on.
hell yeah, I'm talking about this bull last night, man. They trying to act like this lady is some sort of martyr for a cause, or she's some sort of, I think even victim is a strong word. That's an arguable word right there. Because she was for sure not complying, you know, and we know if this was a black man, if this was a black person, period, then the narrative, the first narrative that would have been out is, why didn't they comply? Why was they on an active police scene? Why would so the narrative that they're trying to spin now that well he barely got hit. I seen the governor of or the mayor. I think he was saying, well, he barely got hit. You know, he walked away with an injury that he could have got from bumping up against a refrigerator. Like she didn't even hit him. It's like, what the hell is going? They would have acted like he damn near went into the air on some Scooby Doo shit or a cartoon and filmed it. Like if this was a black person. So they are really reaching to make it seem like this wasn't this we didn't see what we saw with our own damn eyes, and that we're supposed to gather behind her on some sort of protest and anti-ICE, anti-Trump narrative. And baby, hell to the nah. Black people sit this shit out. This ain't got nothing to do with us. All the protests that I seen, thank God, mostly was all white tees. I didn't really see a non-black people. I didn't really see no black people out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? They was damn busting in the hotel buildings, all types of shit. I didn't see no black people out there doing that. So yeah, but this ain't got nothing to do. This is not our fight, you know. And ultimately, this is just a side effect or a result of white tea supremacy. This is white tea supremacy folded in on itself, honestly, because the same system that white tea woman benefited from is the same one that was her downfall. It is what it is. So this is the left and the right coming in on each other. This is just, hey, look, this is black people. We sitting back eating our popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Condolences, but this ain't got shit to do with us. So yeah.
I said that. It's more I want to say, but I know there's a lot of people want to speak, so we're going to get the room started. I'm going to just say this. There was a video where there was like he was a nurse or something like that. He was a medical professional. He was like, hey, let me go render aid. Let me go stop the bleeding, whatever. And the ICE officer said, no, stay back. And a lot of people tripping out about that. I saw Tim Walz. He was all like, oh, they could have rendered some type of aid. They could have they're saying he was a doctor. They could have rendered some type of aid. Listen, this is the environment that you all set, because when y'all do stuff to black people, y'all don't allow anybody to render any type of aid whatsoever. Okay? This is the environment. This is the precedent you set, because there's time and time again where black people need aid, and y'all don't say nothing about the fact that the police stop
So we're making this
anybody
about a
from
race
helping
thing?
black folk. Okay, dude, stop doing that.
This
All
isn't
right?
a race thing, bro. Why are you
No, it
making
is
it
a
so
race.
race?
No, it is. Everything in America is a race thing. Don't do that.
That's stupid as hell.
Okay, well, if you disagree, you can leave. It's not a race thing, dude. Yes, it is.
Oh, you done?
You're my brother in Christ, man. I don't see color, man. Yes, it is. All right, it is a race thing. Okay, and you see how they try to make it seem like it's not a race thing. Yes, it is. It is 100% a race thing, because y'all do it to black people all the time. And every time y'all do it to black people, y'all have a completely different reaction. And when we call that y'all hypocrisy, I don't even see color. My best friend in high school, he was black. He was a black person like you are. So I'm not racist. I don't have a racist bone in my body, brother. Like, no, nah. Okay, but BX, go ahead. You can set the decorum so we can get started.
I love your voices. I want to say I think you were very kind because I seen an original, unairbrushed, unpainted, unfiltered picture of Renee, okay? And it wasn't that nice. She was really the RUG addict, right? That George Floyd is claimed to be. So, anyway, with that said, when you come on the panel, immediately go on mute until directed to speak. When directed to speak, please leave with your ethnicity and if you're over 18. What I mean by ethnicity is this.
Go ahead.
Okay. Ooh.
I brought him back
It's
from
always
accident, but
tethered in, unruly white tea people who may be tethers, Ellis Island babies, that disrupts panels. So what I mean by ethnicity means so my ethnicity is Black American slash African American, but I culturally identify as a foundational Black American. What that means is I have traced my ancestors to an 1870 USA census. Um, in the United States, we don't do the Americas, the Caribbean, North America. I mean, yeah, North America, South America, and all that other stuff there. So if you are melanated, but you can't find your ancestors on the 1870 census, then you are not a Black American, nor should you identify as such. So if you have two parents who come from the island of Jamaica, you are Jamaican American, so on and so forth. Same with Haiti, Haitian American, same with Nigeria, Nigerian American. And that's perfectly fine. Everybody is allowed to speak here as long as they are respectful. We understand by ethnics, one foundational Black American parent, one Caribbean parent, or one Latino parent, or even one African from the continent, sub-Saharan African parent. We will ask your parents' country of origin, and then you give your spiel. Afro-Latinos, I understand that you descend from Africa, but in the U.S. construct, when we say you are not Black, that means you're not ethnically Black. Your ancestors didn't build this land, nor were you raised like us, cultured like us, persecuted like us on this land. And so that's perfectly fine. We understand that. We also understand white tea people have ethnic groups. So if you're allowed to speak on the panel and we say, what's your ethnic group? We don't want to just hear white tea. You are Irish, Polish, German, Scottish, and all these other things that you got over there in the place there.
How you gonna tell me what I am? What? If I want to say white, I'm white. Leave it.
He
you can
doesn't
say
ask
gone.
you.
How about that? How about you just say gone?
Right.
Now I want you to. Do you see how offended they are?
Already.
He
That's
is
because they're
triggered and nobody has
delineating as
said anything.
well. That's because they're delineating as well. If you look on the, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if you look as far as like the college students, and now it says white, and there's a drop down box where it says German, this, they're also delineating as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
that might need to be a whole conversation in and of itself, because there's a hierarchy in their community as well too that they don't like to acknowledge. But go ahead, BX, you can finish.
Okay, yeah, they're delineating as well is because they follow what Black Americans do. We have had
Exactly.
activists for years trying to get us out of the Black slash African American box, and it is working. Delineation is working, my foundation of Black Americans. It really is. Some white tea people are surprised because they were able to send to white tea-ness, but let's remember there were signs no Irish. You know what I'm saying? And they're the loudest ones against our reparations on these acts. Pronouns are not required here. If you want to volunteer them, that's fine. But you could give your spiel without your pronouns. We just want to know if you're over 18. See that orange heart by Afro Elite's name? Just click the orange heart, complete the daily mission, claim your points. It helps keep him in the algorithm, improve the rankings, and also unlock cool gifts that you get to share to Afro. Share the live out. Let's get some fresh perspectives in here. But today is sort of like an off day. So I don't believe Afro is comparing. He's just saying the instances are different, okay? Not that she wasn't,
Yeah,
harmed.
I'm saying that the
in such a
comparisons
manner.
need to stop. I'm not here
Right,
trying to justify anything. I'm
right.
talking about the principle of both things, because when it comes to Black people and the police, there's a hyper analyzing of every single thing the Black person has ever done in their life, okay, that they will use to then rationalize what the police did. Okay, if the person has a criminal history, if the person was doing this 10 minutes ago, if the person had anything in his system, if the person was yelling, or if the person was aggressive, there's a hyper analyzation of every single detail, to make the Black person who is a victim not a victim. But with her, they're dismissing all of these major factors that go into the situation to make her a victim. And that's what we're not going to do. Don't try to use our plight, George Floyd, to try to garner some sympathy for her that y'all know for real she doesn't deserve. All right? Which is why you're trying to make this comparison.
Can I ask a question?
No,
No,
not yet.
man, no.
Didn't you just see the man get dropped? Like, we're not playing today. So also TikTok friendly language. Whatever you can say up on this panel, do not write it in the chat, or it will be a 5-minute mute to remove it. Right? I don't want to. 0 followers. Of 25 to 0 followers, no profile picture. I'm bouncing you. I'm just bouncing you. I don't have no time for trolls today. So you got to say things like, you got to talk like you're talking to a 2-year-old. Hell, you got to talk like you're talking to a newborn, okay? So, self-deletion, pew-pew, unaliving, hard candy, strange fruiting, so on and so forth. If you are unsure of how to say a word, spell it out. Some groups are protected. So we have to say things like small hats, okay? We can't say, the Schmittler guy, or we got to say like the big H. We can't say the red and blue. We can't say the GANGS or the WAR. That is guidelines for Black American panels who are over monitored. I land.
All right. Okay, here we're going to get the conversation started. So let's get to our brother Denzimus. You got it?
Hey, hello, Afro, BX, Easy. You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. What's on your
No,
mind?
okay, Afro. Don't leave TikTok don't leave us hanging for too long, bro. We missed you. First of all, there's been way too much must up in these damn streets. We have to have deodorant and must spray on deck. All right.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I'm like, the nerve of these people to compare George Floyd to this. Oh my goodness, the goal, and to the fool that came up here and said it's not about race. Sir, please have a tall glass and shut the F up, because I promise you, we all know the next time another black person gets unalived by the police, these white supremacists will damn near be beaten off to the death certificate. So I don't want to hear that shit from them. Then this is the precedent that these people set. They haven't learned their lesson. They're going to do the next, like I said, the next time another one of us gets unalived, unfortunately, they're going to be making excuses. I'm just like, why aren't y'all doing the same shit that y'all do when one of us gets unalived? You're not talking about how she's a single mother, which she was. She has a few kids, and now I think the father, and I might be wrong if I say this. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I don't know if the kids' fathers are in their lives, so that too. Where's the father? She's a single mother and she got like 4 to 5 kids. So why aren't they looking up all her details? Why aren't they doing all the shit that they do with us, going into her background? And as a matter of fact, did she have fentanyl in her system? Did she?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I haven't seen the autopsy yet.
Okay, because the way she was rolling around, and I saw her in the video, I would have thought she had drugs and certain stuff in her system. The arrogant way she was acting. So, somebody said it looked like she did, but yeah. So, my question to the YT community: are y'all finally learning y'all lesson? Because this is only going to get worse for y'all the more it goes on. Don't come to us, because we've already told y'all how this system is. I don't want to hear it. But that's all I have to say for now. I'm pretty sure one of these other idiots are going to come up and try and justify something.
Oh, yeah. They're triggered right now. They're a few of them, they've had to leave because they're upset. They're mad because they want to make her to be some type of martyr, but she's not. And the thing is that they need black people to sign off on that. They need black approval in order to make her a martyr, and we're just not. I'm here right now to say we're not giving it. We're not going to give her the approval to make her some type of martyr for the cause of illegal immigration. No, we're just not doing that.
And before I mute up, that's what I really want to. I want to say this before I mute up. We can't allow ourselves to be the supporter of their bullshit, because unfortunately, their martyr, what they're trying to make her be a martyr for, is for something technically unjust. If I hope I worded that right, their goals are usually unjust, and we have morals and stuff, and with the white supremacists, it's always some nefarious shit with them.
Hmm.
We can't support their stuff because every time we support them, it's always some bullshit that's demonic. So yeah.
Yep. It's true. Real talk. Let's get to ABC 123.
I wanted to wait until you got to the two YT people that are at the end.
There's white tea people out there. Okay. Well, we'll skip then. Let's get to Decker.
How you doing, Afro?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, just checking in. Just let you know, I love the work that you do. Been rocking with you for a while.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
don't want to say much.
Where are you from?
Yeah, from Liverpool, England.
Okay.
Yeah, I rock with you all.
Appreciate it.
You know, FBA Red, Afro, Elite yourself. Black Alpha, Tariq. Yeah, I'll be back. I just don't want to say much. Only just keep doing what you're doing. I love the work that you do. Keep pushing for reparations. I love this delineation. It's very, very much needed. And yeah, you guys
Hmm.
are the leaders. Know that you guys are the leaders. These are the trendsetters. You've done a lot for America. And people need to really listen to you guys because you guys know it all. You have done it all. There's nothing else that. You're winners. You're winners. That's it. I'll land.
All right. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. All
Pleasure.
right then. Let's get to Trey Parks.
What's up, Afro? Been following you on YouTube. Glad to catch you on TikTok. Hey, appreciate that, Decker, man. That was real. That was real cool, brother.
Yeah, that was
Appreciate that.
cool. That was cool. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm FBA from Oklahoma. My folks came here from Tennessee back in the census. We've been here. Well, we trace back to indigenous and all that. But
Okay.
when I was seeing this a comparison, no way. I mean, when that second video came out, those women, they were combative. They had smirks in their faces. Her wife was telling her, "Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro." No, they were enemy combatants, and they got dealt with as someone who is an enemy combatant. I mean, since when can you go up to federal enforcement agencies and act a fool? When is this? With George Floyd, we were victims. It's always us. We either minding our business, we're walking away, doing nothing. Traffic stop. I mean, they come us out the blue. She was a part of a ICE watch force. Like, they get in their cars and they
Mm.
go after ICE and they impede them. Like, they're traveling across the city. This was like her daytime job, her nighttime gig. You know what I'm saying? So the comparison is just sick. But yeah, what it is they finally getting treated like one of us. No matter what you see in the video, the authorities say, "Nah, it's this way." He fought for his life. He was scared. And that dude did say that he got ran over once before. So, I mean, hey, how many times you gonna get mowed over by a car before you try to push back and protect yourself?
Yep.
So,
And she technically did hit him.
yeah, he was
He
like,
Whether
definitely
she
hit him.
was trying to completely run him over,
Yeah,
she wasn't trying to run him over, but she did. If you look at the video, she actually did hit him with the car. So
she did. And she knew that she could hit him when she moved that damn car.
yeah, you heard the impact though in that second video. He was like, ooh, like you could tell he got hit. So yeah, this is what it's like. This is a small taste, like just a microcosm of what we have to deal with. And we are victimized. This is something that she had coming. So, I'm gonna land right there, not gonna be too long winded, but the comparison is no way. And like you said, that's why it's not catching steam because people know spiritually ain't right. Ain't no way.
yep, that's true. Let me speak about that, like those little task forces that they have. If now a lot of them, they're bunch of white folk, right? Black people, we couldn't do that. There's no way at all that black people could collectively come together and have a whole unit or a watch force that impedes law enforcement and nothing happens. Okay, I've seen people with signs up saying, hey, ICE is over here, or giving signals and all that. ICE is coming around the corner. Don't do this. Don't do this. If they were black, they would call that obstructing justice. They would call that impeding law enforcement. With them, they call it First Amendment right. That's their First Amendment right to express themselves. If you were black and you were doing if you're black and you're recording, they'll try to snatch the phone away from you. They'll make you take almost 100 feet back. There's so many times where somebody's getting arrested, and we've all seen these videos where a black person's getting arrested and people are recording, and the cops like, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, and make them back up damn near 50 feet. And they're not even doing nothing, not trying to physically get in the way or anything like that. These people are literally strategically trying to physically stop them. And they don't get arrested for it. There's no unit to break them up, or there's no collective charges. Now, come on now. If they were black, they would all be going to jail. This is that privilege that they have. This is that YT privilege that they have. And sometimes they think it's a little bit more than what it is. Well, that's what happened with her. She thought it was a little bit more than what it was. That's all that happened. All right. Let's get to Jason. You got it. Jason, you can go ahead. All right. Let's get to Jai Primal.
Jai Premio. I want to say it just in short to your prompt. And Afro Elite.
Hey, sorry about that.
Okay, well,
all
just
I gotta say is she
wait.
fucked around and found out. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. My bike just popped on.
Okay, well,
go ahead and give it to Jason, and I'll wait my turn, Afro.
All right, Jason, you got it.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, what did she expect? Like, she's going to, like, I don't know. It's nothing, no comparison. She pretty much did it to herself. I don't like want anybody to, get shot and killed. But
hold on. You got to be more careful with the language, because
sorry. Asking ethnic groups. I gave a whole
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
What's your ethnic group, Jason?
Who, me? I'm white.
Okay. Are you Irish, Italian, Polish?
I'm Irish Italian, actually.
Thank you. Go ahead, y'all.
Well, no, that's it. I just wanted to make it short and sweet. Like, no comparison. Like, nobody deserves to die, but she brought it on herself. So.
All right.
That's all I gotta say.
All right, then. Thank you, Jason. All right. You can go ahead, brother. Go ahead. We're gonna cycle.
All right. I just want to make it in short.
Bring more people up.
To your prompt is that there's no way that you can compare anything when it happens to an African American or FBA or anyone that identify in the black demographic. Nowhere close. Let me explain why I'm saying it. When the black is involved, it's victimized. You can't even take the sociological in the case and make it like he wasn't seeking his just. So when you see the black face, we are the face of justice in this country. There's no way this country will be able to reverse that. Anything happened toward the black man in his just is injustice. In the case of ICE, and anytime you see these type, it's an effort to move their presence. Like all these people are trying to say is we're here, but there's not subjugated to justice. Because if it was justice, they'll be in their home, right? Or seeking a greater humanity and not task forcing against justice. And everything that you see in this is to move their supremacy forward, to move that perception of power forward, to move that perception of privilege forward. And I hear you saying that, Afro, and I don't want to get emotional about this in the point that the face of black men are the justice. This system is set up to be unjust toward us, and we need to bring a greater awareness that we're not responding the way they think we're supposed to respond. Even these ICE people think that we're supposed to respond to them in their privilege, in their perception, and they have no clue what the hell justice is. Just look at it looking like one of the little Mandarin sloths. You know, she's a part of their system. They're mortars. They're making themselves a mortar for their movement of supremacy in Venezuela, in the White House, and in Iran. It ain't no use us sitting here playing like we don't know. We are playing against the world, y'all. And I'm not saying this in no idiom. I'm saying this literally. When you're a black man, you respond in your you respond in your justice, and don't trust the judicial system. You have to trust the divine power, your inner peace, because they ain't gonna stop.
All right. There we go. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Let me
I want to Afro. Wait, I got to tell you. So they're hitting a lot of us with like misinformation, even if we know we're not wrong. Some things we might have to code, like, you know what I'm saying? No, you don't know what I'm saying. You don't be on here a lot. So, if you notice the chat, they're saying Venezuela with question marks because of what Jai said, right? What I'm saying is, even if we know it's correct, we might kind of have to code stuff like that. Just when you're talking about international politics stuff, they're really hitting us with misinformation violations. I know that it's sad that we're so scrutinized, but I just want to give that warning. So if you see a violation pop up on your thing and it says misinformation, they're doing that a lot too, as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Got you. Understand that. Let me say something. There was another video I saw. I saw this other video of this. Is of course it all happens to be the same thing. A white tea woman and a man. They were in the house and they ordered DoorDash, and the DoorDash driver evidently was an illegal immigrant. And ICE pulled up to the house trying to arrest her. And she, I guess, was at the door or something like that and ran up in the house. Now she is up in the house, and ICE came to the door, and the family of the house was all like, hey, you don't have a warrant, so you can't come in here. And ICE was like, hey, we're not going anywhere. We can get a warrant, and then once we get a warrant, you can't stop us from coming in. So ICE is posted all around the house. They in the backyard, they in the front yard, they all around the house, waiting for this warrant to come through. She on TikTok like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. There's a stranger in my house. I said, do you see that these white tea folks are willing to take chances to go to jail? And at this point, chances they're willing to put their lives on the line for a bunch of illegal immigrants. Now, I want you to think that I've seen some people be all like, thank you. I looked at the comments. They were like, thank you so much for your heroism and all that. If a black man was a DoorDash driver and he ran up in somebody's house and the police said, hey, I'm here for him, I'm trying to get him, do y'all think that same YT couple would have been like, well, you can't come in without a warrant? Do y'all think that they would be aiding and abetting a fugitive of the law if that person was black?
Hell no.
All of this, they're heroes. They don't do this stuff for black people. That, first off, when it comes to arresting a black person, they like to step in and be substitute cops. I've seen so many times where a black person is getting arrested, and then here comes this random white person like, I'll help, and they'll grab the person's arm or something like that. They love being these like pseudo cops when a black person's getting arrested. Yet when it's coming to them, that's aiding and abetting. Now here's the thing, ICE, that if they were black, if it was a black household, they would say, well, you know what? We have probable cause. We don't need a warrant. That's what they would say if it was a black family. That we saw the person run in here, that's probable cause enough. We can come in without a warrant. The fact that I stood outside and waited for a warrant, that's YT privilege, because they wouldn't have did that if it was a black family. They would have said, well, we know they're in here. We saw them run in here. We don't need a warrant to come in here. And look, deal with it later on. They would have charged in that. They would have broke through the door. They would have charged in there. They wouldn't have waited for no warrant if they were black. And we all know that.
They would have made a
constantly
Netflix special on it, to be honest. They probably would make a whole movie about it.
No, we're constantly put at the injustice of the system because they have put us away from the face of justice, and we're the face of criminal enterprise. Now, what criminal enterprise are we a part of if we're constantly being imprisoned? We don't get the right to a fair trial. And so remember this. I know that, are you FBA, FRO? And I'm asking that because
Yeah.
of your awareness platform. I can go back and look at your films and know why your position. I don't want to talk different of that. But remember this, guys. If you were to take this case and look at George's case, there's no federal enforcement in place. That was a private proprietor that was being unjust to this dude, whether he dealt with him and asked him not to come to his store, whatever the scenario. That guy, Carl, had every right to do whatever he was doing there. He has a right, but it's been taken away because the system is set up unjustly against us. Here, federal enforcement is in place, y'all. So it ain't a comparison. It shows you they're trying to move their perception of power forward. They're obstructing federal enforcement, and there's no federal entity, right, that will make them reverse it in deadly force. Not even in this instance. She just happened to be ignorant till she was confronting them, and when they did it, they in their mind they're thinking through what? We got to stop her. So when they stop you with the use of force, it's not an unjust practice. They just stopping her so she wouldn't knock down the crowd. And Carl, he's an individual, got conditions, failing to do therapy, whatever it is, you can say what you want. They are obstructing. They are in a criminal enterprise, obstructing federal enforcement. Once enforcement start, you can't say nothing. You can't even be a good Samaritan. You got to stand by, right? But they do it. On the municipal level, you see those civilians, but in federal law, you cannot be a bystander that helped the federal officers arrest because it's too tactical, because it's going to go to force, deadly force, unaliving someone, okay? Because they're going to stop you. And that's where we're not talking from. They keep scoping any uniform represents the federal. No, when it's federal enforcement, it's at all costs. This is why they're doing it the way they're doing it. They're acting like they're taking our government on what we can't even get respect from our government, let alone talk to injustices. It's the municipals that's obstructing federal enforcement.
Yeah.
And that's why you see things going the way it's doing it. These people here, these task force, they're obstructing enforcement. You cannot obstruct enforcement without a jail penalty. The George Carl is the American thing where they're unjust against the FBA, FAA. You know, the FAA is the ones that's the author, the Langston Hughes, the Toni Morrisons. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm going to let you land because we got to get to this next speaker. I don't think she's spoken yet.
It's there, sir.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. They are obstruct, and they tell people and warn people about that all the time. Okay. They warn you not to get involved. And when it comes to police affairs, when you're black, these people, because they don't really have consequences and repercussions for stuff, they're just so not used to that. They're so conditioned that consequences for their action when it comes to law enforcement doesn't really affect them like that. So they out there just doing whatever. They're wilding, just doing whatever. All right. Now let's get to Key for every rant. What Key? Go ahead. I can't even see it.
It's okay. I just saw your prompt and I wanted to respond.
Where are you from?
I'm from the South.
Are you a Black American from the South, or are you?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
All right.
I would just like to respond. Thank you for having me. I'm looking at the prompt, and no, it's not a comparison. Not at all. George Floyd, despite his background, this, that, and the third. Okay, George Floyd is a victim. He was murdered by overzealous.
Yeah, just that language, you know. Okay.
Underlined by an overzealous law enforcement officer. Okay, with this lady here, when I first heard the story, I'm sorry about that. When I first heard the story, I was like, oh no. But then when I started digging deeper, I said, nope. So what it appears to me, and this is just my opinion, is that she went down wherever with her wife and basically wanted to tell these people what to do. No. She should have had her ass at home with her children. And I'm just gonna call it for what it is. Or anywhere else. Hell, she could have been in Publix. She shouldn't have been down there. So it tells me she went down there for hell. and she FAFO. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Okay, she went down there and she started with those people. And okay, you really gonna find out, because here's the thing: if I know that ICE is over here or over there, guess what? I'm nowhere around it because it's none of my business. Sometimes it's great to mind your own damn business.
Yeah.
She went down there, started effing with those people, and got her ass unalive. And let me tell you, I don't feel sorry for her. I really don't. I'm not capping for her. No, it's none of my business. But hey, it is what it is. She should have minded her own business. Whoever they trying to pick up or this, that, and the third does not have anything to do with you or that wife of yours. And I did see on video that wife was screaming at those agents. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. You can't be hollering at these people and trying to tell these people what to do. No, they don't have to do what you say do. They're going to do what they're being told to do by their superiors. That's
Mm.
not you. And so she effed around and found out. When they told her to get out of that vehicle or whatever, this, that, and the third, she should have obeyed those folks. And she did not. So it is what it is. So she had a lack of self-control. She went down that street, was telling the people what they was going to do, yelling and barking at these people. She messed around and found out. And that's what happened to that other lady that with that insurrection. Remember her? That
Mm-hmm.
left California and she went to that insurrection. Uh-huh. She was unalive too. But my thing is, you unalive by your own hands. You thought you was gonna do what you want to do, and those folks F around and told you. See, she got a wake up, they got a wake up call. They're not gonna play around with you. Now, when it comes to somebody being black, oh, it's a totally different story. Let's just be honest. You go and jump around in those people's faces, they can take you out right there. Let's just be honest. So they gave her a chance to, hey, you know what? This doesn't concern you. Go
Mm-hmm.
get the F out. No, I'm going to holler at you. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm getting in this car and turn the wheel. She found out, period. And I'm going to lay my plane there. Thank you.
That's true. Hey, that's true. She was looking for problems and she found them. She was looking
And
for problems and found them. Aziza, you
period.
want?
I'm
Aziza?
sorry, period. Period.
Mm-hmm.
She was looking, you don't go and see, and I said with my the way that I was raised. I was raised that you don't go looking for problems because they will find you quick.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get in something and it's hard to get out of stuff. See, that's what a lot of people don't know or don't care about. You feel that you can just do what you want to do. You're deluded. You cannot.
Yeah.
That's why she in a deep freeze right now.
Yeah. There was a comment in the chat room talking about no, she was on her own block. It was her block
I don't give a
or
damn.
her street. She
I don't give
don't
a
own
damn.
the street.
You
That's
don't
not
own the
her
street.
street.
Thank
That's
you.
not her street. You don't
That's not
own
your
the street.
you don't own the
If it
street.
was in her front yard or her backyard, maybe I could get the fact that she was there. No, that's not her business. She don't own. You think, does anybody own the whole street that their house happens to be on?
Let me tell
I'm
you.
not talking about the yard,
Right.
the street. She was in the street. Okay.
Let me tell you something. It was an incident that happened on my street. I saw a whole bunch of cop cars. Did I go over there? Hell no. And it happened right on my street. It didn't concern me. That's it. It did not concern me. So when I'm gonna go over there and start messing with those people for, let those people do their jobs. I'm not in it. Case closed. It's nothing to argue about.
Yep.
FAFO.
Yeah, people talking about there needs to be consequences. They already finding his name and doing that stuff. I'm gonna be honest. She was using her vehicle to illegally. She was using
Uh-huh.
her vehicle to break the law. She was breaking the law. Her
Uh-huh.
and her wife were breaking the law, and they admitted to it too, because the ICE officers, way more patient than they ever would have been if they were black, told her time and time and time again to get out of the way. She knew what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And look, what happened. She knew what she was doing. Her vehicle turned into a weapon at that point. The second the wheels started turning, that makes the vehicle extremely dangerous now
That's
to
it.
everybody around. The second she's put her foot on the gas pedal, that vehicle is now a weapon.
And she could have. That's it. It could have been a
But
whole
you,
lot worse than what it was. Cause she could have mowed down God knows who.
And her wife
Exactly.
told her to drive. Don't forget that part. Her
well,
wife
here's
said, "Drive, drive." In that
Do
second
what
video,
here's
now?
something I want.
She
I'm
I
sorry.
want
definitely.
the host to characterize this here because this is not a story that I would pick up on and anywhere try to make a comparison. But is this task force, was they enforcing already when her task force showed up, or were they coming to disperse their rally and their peace that was not peaceful anyway?
It was because in that area there were some illegal immigrants that though the ICE agents were looking after and were trying to get after. Her task force are pretty much designed to warn the immigrants, the illegal immigrants, so they can flee and get away and evade ICE.
Okay. So because you characterized it at that, remember that's where I'm speaking from. In the instance of this task force, if there's enforcement, whether it's going to happen on a certain date and there's someone that's obstruction of justice.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
an obstruction of justice to what? A threat on law enforcement, federal law enforcement. So they should have immediately been arrested. It's not like the intelligence, like the Secret Service, what they would do if someone's talking. But remember, the scope of a municipal officer versus where federal officer involved, don't ever try to compare the justice clause on that, because that task force, like, they disturb us in our daily life, like Carl was disturbed in his daily life. We're disturbed as an Afrocentric man of affluential. Remember Dr. Gray, they bothered him about being in his community. They mess with our black officers, okay? This here is designed to obstruct justice, and they don't take a greater penalty on it. It has nothing to do with civil rights movement, right? It has nothing to do with the clause of humanity, dignity clause, because the point is they're set up to be obstructive. And when you've got federal enforcement in place, no one is supposed to even be rallying in that area, but they get away with it because the face look like the mess of injustice.
Yep.
The
Because
face on the
that's
right
better
is the face
protection.
of injustice. The face on the left is the face of justice. And I don't have a comparison for injustice to justice. Remember that.
Yeah. Let's get to the next speaker. Let's get to FBA Portiz and then Prince. FBA Portiz, you got it. Okay. Well, give him a little bit of time. Let's get to Prince.
What up, what up, what up, though?
How you doing? What up, though?
Man, everything good, man. I just had to tap in for a hot second, man. I've been seeing a lot of BS going on with this whole little incident. The lady was totally in the wrong. And when you got adversaries out here in the streets, one of the worst ones is a YT lesbian stud woman. They actually want to be, they wish they was a black man, actually, so and whenever they have encounters, it's gonna be a problem, and they probably gonna end up on their face, and then they gonna cry foul. That's why it's about to be a fall to that LGBT flag. All of that stuff about to fall.
Yeah, honestly, they do. We got to talk about that. Probably needs to be another conversation because there's a whole lot of racism in the letter or alphabet community. I would say the rainbow community, where they all try to act like stereotypes of black people.
Exactly. Exactly.
They'll act like a black man or they'll act like a black woman. They all act like, no. Just notice how the white alphabet community tries to act as like super exaggerated stereotypes of black people.
Exactly. The
As far as
feminine white
the
guys.
aesthetic, the mannerisms, the slang, all of that stuff. So, and that goes into a little bit of racism too, but that can be a whole nother life, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
because I'm a truck driver, right? And every time I get pulled over by a LGBT YT woman stud police officer, she swears she the biggest, toughest thing going around. And I'm like, girl, I'll slam you on your neck.
Look, she thought she was bad. She thought she was tough, and that's the thing. She should. And the biggest point about this is this shows the fact that y'all are surprised that this happens just shows y'all level of entitlement to just do whatever y'all want to do.
Yeah.
The fact that you guys are surprised that somebody who's in a vehicle who's breaking the law, obstructing federal law enforcement, and then uses her vehicle that could potentially run somebody over or hit she did hit somebody. You hit an officer with your car after you were told to get out of the car, and then y'all acting all surprised. That shows a level of entitlement. That shows that you guys are so not used to any type of consequences or repercussions for y'all actions. Y'all just used to just being able to lash out however y'all want to. Now, when it
Bro,
comes to black people, we're told whether we victims or not, we should have been there. You just should have been home. It doesn't matter if you were in the right or wrong. If you were at home, it wouldn't have happened. Even when you're at home, it happens.
Afro
And we
Elite,
get told we need to be held accountable, even if we're at our house. You know what I'm saying? Breonna Taylor was at her house. Sonia Massey was at her house. We got people Tatiana Jefferson was at her house. We got people at their house who are told that they need to be held accountable. These people are going out looking for problems and are trying to be made to be some type of hero. No, we're just not doing that.
Afro Elite. Excuse me. I have a question. Did did the woman try to hit the officer in the with her car?
The woman tried to flee when the officer tried to open the door. I looked at it in slow motion a whole bunch of times. The
Mm-hmm.
woman wasn't, I don't think, I'm gonna be very honest, the woman wasn't intentionally trying to hit the officer. She was trying to get away because the officers were about to open the door and pull her out. However,
Gotcha.
she knew that there was an officer right in front of the car. So
Mm-hmm.
she knew that moving that car was going to hit him. She did know that. She did see the dude right in front, and she knew that moving that car was going to hit him. So was she trying to hit him with the car? No, but she was willing to do that to get away.
Okay, well, you know what? Then you know what? I don't have problems with the officer, and they need to quit coming after that man. And I've been seeing stuff, on social media, getting his name and his wife and where his children live and all that. That's harassment and stuff, and they need to stop there.
Hmm.
The officer was in the right. Period.
All right. FBA parties, are you ready or no? Oh, okay. I want to get you English Junior. How you doing?
Afro, what do you think about? And I can't today. These people get on my damn nerves. They're gonna talk about the United States of America as mirroring 1930s, the big H, incident.
Really?
Yeah,
all
yeah, I
right.
muted her. I can't deal with that stuff. They make these false equivalencies as if they're facts. So if they research 1996, President Clinton, a whole Democrat, signed into law the expedited removal, meaning for some people, depending on the way they entered the country, there will be no due process, right? And so other administrations have
You're muted. You're
relented.
muffled. You're muffled.
Sorry, and Price, please mute up because you have feedback too. And so, did you hear me when I said President Clinton signed
Hmm.
into law the legal framework for expedited removal? Depending on how a person illegally enters this country, is the way that they will be bounced, right? So there is no due process for them. And other administrations have kept that framework around, even if they tweaked it just a little bit. So when Trump is sending ICE out to get people who are illegal, then he's doing his job. And it was a whole Democrat who signed the legal framework into law. I don't want to see the comparison to Germany. I think
No.
that's a false equivalency.
Yeah,
That's
that's
another
completely
comparison
wrong.
that needs to stop.
That's completely wrong. That's 100% wrong.
Right.
And notice that they get why can't notice they have to lie. They have to lie. If you guys were in the right, you guys would be able to bring up this example for what it is. You guys wouldn't have to make a parallel to something else that actually was wrong. You guys have to make a parallel because what you're seeing is not really, you can't really make the argument that these people are justified. Uh, Now, Mr. English, you said you were a trans male,
Yes,
transgender
sir.
male.
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay, so you're a male who transitioned into the opposite.
Other way.
Okay. No,
I'm asking.
no, sir. No, 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 no. See, that's the problem. A
I'm
lot of
asking a
people.
question. Come on
I
now.
understand that. I'm gonna give you the answer. Okay. Because I know you don't know, and I'm not laughing at you, but this is the problem right now with society. A lot of people in the LGBTQ community is just not being upfront and being honest with themselves. We talk about walking in our own truth, but then do so. Educate people. They don't understand. And see, you didn't know until I just told you, but I was born a female and they call it FTM. Okay, it's female to male. If it's a male to female, then those are, the men to women. So I have no problem with answering any questions, but I can say one thing about my community, not all of them, all of us. Yes, we're walking around like Vikings with an attitude because people misgender you and have attitude. If they don't know, they just don't know. Why are you going to get mad with somebody who does not know?
Okay.
And I'm sorry, but yes, be who you are. I walk in my own truth. And yes, I do know that woman she was wrong. Irregardless to whether she was straight or whatever the situation is, she was wrong.
Okay.
Gay, I don't have anything to do with you being privileged. I agree with all of you.
Where are you from, like ethnically? Where are you from?
I'm African. Well, I'm black. I'm a black man, and I was born and raised in Hawaii.
So you're Hawaiian, and then
Yes,
you can't win. Okay. All right then.
and not just that. I was a transgender. I am a transgender.
Okay.
In the military covers all my care. They take very good care of the transgenders in the military. In fact, it's improved now. So and then there's some out there, transgenders out there, as you probably have seen, that wear a dress and the next day they're wearing a suit. As a man, no, I wear male. I don't wear dress. Be yourself. Be who you are, and
Well,
stop thinking that
okay.
that.
Can I ask you a
That's
question then? And
Go
I'm glad
ahead.
you're answering questions.
Yes,
You
sir.
said you're a male. I thought being a male and a female was a biological thing, and you're referring to yourself as a male. So, like, what makes you a male? I thought you said you were a female.
I'm glad you asked. Thank you
Great
so
one,
much.
Afro.
You
That was
make me
good.
okay. You make me feel smarter. Thank you. Um, well, there's surgical, plastic surgery, and I do have just strictly hormone injections from the VA hospital. Um, as far as surgically, I have done all of the removal of everything female and plastic surgeon of male. So I basically am walking around just like you, sir.
Well, no, not really, because
Yes, I am.
there's no amount of
Okay.
surgery that can completely make you a male. Your chromosomes
So
are still going to be the same. You still have to
no,
take
no.
hormone pills and things like that in order for you
Mm-mm.
to produce what my body will naturally produce. You know what I'm saying? My body will naturally produce a level of testosterone that your body is going to have to be like altered in order to produce. You need to take things to
So
continuously um regulate your hormones and things like that to make that more akin to a male's hormones. So, it's not no.
no, sir. You're.
I
I'm
just
sorry, sir,
believe
but
But hold
if
on.
you,
I mean, scientifically, and then we can talk about the
uh,
fact that are scientifically, did your surgery change your chromosomes? Is that
I don't have any fallopian tubes. Everything is gone. Breast,
I'm
all
not
of the
saying that,
above.
but
That's
there's a
all
lot.
over. Now,
Okay,
not only that, hold on. We also chose the size and the length of how we want it put down there. Okay,
okay.
get what I'm saying?
Please don't do
So
that.
yeah,
Please
we
don't do
do.
that. This is
We
not for
have a
that. This is not
penis.
that. Don't do that.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
please don't.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
lot.
Well, I mean, yeah, they asked, and you're
I didn't
saying
ask
that
about
there's the
that. Now I
chromosome.
didn't ask about that.
Don't nobody
Okay,
want
Right.
to hear that.
Okay,
but
that's fine. That's okay.
but
But as long as
and
you
this
do
is
know,
I'm glad that you're here because we can have this opportunity because the thing is that you're saying you're a male. Let me ask you, so you're saying a female is a biological thing, right? What is a woman to you?
A woman who was born with let's see, let's do this. A woman is born with the female.
I'm
Oh, oh,
sorry,
Oh,
Afro
wait,
Lee. I'm
wait, wait, wait,
sorry.
wait, 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 wait. Let her talk.
oh
I'm
no, no.
done.
I
No, no,
want
no,
you
no,
to,
no, no.
I want you to think just
No, sir. Go
instantly.
ahead.
If
I,
an
I,
alien
That's the
race
cop out.
came to Earth, if an
no, it's
alien
not
race
either.
came
You
to
stay
Earth,
out of it.
hold on.
Go
I'm
ahead,
asking
sir.
you, sir. Oh, person. I'm asking you.
Sir.
Okay, okay. Listen, I'm not trying
My
to.
birth certificate also from Hawaii is changed to male
Afro,
because
chill.
Thank you,
completed.
Afro Elite. I
Hold up,
gotta
y'all.
go.
I
Thank
Hold up,
complete.
you.
hold up,
Oh
hold up.
shit. Okay. Goodbye,
Okay, hold
y'all.
on. Everybody don't need to get riled up.
No, that's it.
Look, okay,
Yeah. Right. Have a good one, y'all. I gotta go.
okay.
You
Okay.
have a blessed
All
day.
right, ma'am.
You have a blessed day, ma'am.
What the hell?
She was
Come on
agreeing.
now.
Afro
Now we
Elite.
was being very respectful. I was trying to be respectful. I didn't
Bro,
ask the pronouns before, so that's
I wasn't trying to. I wasn't. I'm
I knew that
sorry,
was a
you
woman
all.
though.
I wasn't trying to be
Found
rude.
my voice.
I was just gonna pay respects to the host and just let Afro Elite know that thank you for having me. I was gonna bail out because he
okay.
started going into some territory that I didn't want to be a part of. So I was just trying to be respectful. I'm just like I don't want to hear that, so I was gonna buy out, and I was gonna buy out. I was just trying to be respectful. So if anyone is offended, I apologize. I wasn't trying to. I
Yeah,
really wasn't.
yeah. I
It
mean,
just
That's okay.
and nobody said anything disrespectful. Nobody said anything offensive. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all got folk in y'all community who walk around with their feelings on their sleeves. Did anybody here? There's hundreds of people here. Hear us disrespect the person, say anything offensive, say anything disrespectful about the community? But
No.
no, you're not gonna lie about science now.
Yeah, come on.
No, you're not just gonna lie about science. Talk about my surgery made me a male. That's not how that works. We're not gonna do that.
you're not a
You try to
male
slide that up,
anyway.
make that real slick, like we wasn't gonna catch that
Yeah, I'm
joint.
like I caught
you
that.
a
I'm not
woman with
ignorant. I
some
caught
surgery. Oh.
you still a female. I don't care what you do. Period.
Definitely still a female, for sure.
No, I just always feel like
Oh Lord.
people get real delusional with this shit, and we just have to hold them to it. That was
Yeah, they
crazy.
got help being delusional from the doctors that do them surgeries. They actually tell them like, "Well, you a
Yep.
full man now. You know that, right?" And they be like, "Oh, really?"
You are that is not a man. That's a female. And when they get laid in the ground, it's gonna be a female. I don't care how many so-called
The
hormones taken out and this added, and don't nobody want to hear
yeah,
that.
the fact that he whatever said
They,
that
it,
the
that.
fact that they're the same as me. If I cut all of my facial hair off, it will grow back, and there's nothing I can do to stop that.
Exactly.
They have to have pills
Mm-hmm.
to keep growing facial hair and testosterone and stuff like
Exactly.
that. They need and for the rest of their life because their body will not produce the chemicals it takes to be a male. You're not a male naturally. You have to consistently, not even one surgery, you have to consistently keep altering your body in order to make it more akin to a male's body
Yep.
or vice versa to a female's body. I don't have to do nothing to be a male. Okay? There's nothing I cannot do to be a male.
Yep.
You need to go to Walgreens every other week. Come on, let's not lie about it.
Or CVS one.
She said Hawaii, so you know that over in Hawaii they be doing some brainwashing over there because that's where Obama from.
It's
Yeah,
a
that might
mess.
explain a lot too, actually. If we,
It's a
Right. That was
mess.
a
You
good
know
one.
what I was trying to stay out of it. Y'all noticed I was on mute. This is my thought, right? The things I don't like, please don't call me sis or fish. Also, and what's up with the 1980s? Because that's when them terms, well, sis, I trace that back to there, like, and that's when Jesse Jackson decided we were African American. But also, this is very important. I'm glad, the person was very honest that who they are, right? But when you have partners, please be honest with those partners, right? Because I noticed that there is some level of violence where if they're not honest with their partners, the other person can really wig out. I'm gonna say, and so that's the only thing that I have when it comes to that. Because your lifestyle isn't for me, so don't push it on me. But be respectful. I don't want to be called sis fish, and
Yep.
I think you
Hmm.
should be
Mm.
honest with your partner for the simple fact, I have children, and I would want the person,
Did you
if
refer to
a
yourself
person
as a piece
came.
of fish?
No, wait, let me get my thought out for these things. But I have children, and if they think they're dating a real natural born woman, then I don't want them to be put in that position. Be honest with your partners. I have a daughter. She may think it's and it's not. And then it's like, and then some people can't handle that, and they wild out on them. So I just kind of think that for all parties involved, be honest with who you are. Don't call people sis. Black women, especially the ones I know, we don't like that word. What the hell is a sis? I'm a woman.
And don't
As
call
much
me
as
no
they try,
damn
they never
Don't
look
need
fishy.
like a
nothing before
man.
after that.
Don't call me no damn fish. I'm a woman, something you want to be. Don't call me no damn fish.
Oh, okay, that's what she said. My bad, my bad.
No, you good.
But FBA Portiz, you can go ahead. I know you didn't get a chance to speak on the topic yet.
Man, cause you know I came to cook, brother. What up,
I know
though?
you came. I know you came. Come on, brother.
Hey,
You got it. You got it.
happy New Year, y'all. It's been a minute since I've been up here with the family, man. But no,
Happy
I
New
just
Year to
came
you.
up here because the panel it would stop. It's not the same. Stop comparing the two. I just wanted to say that in the case of YT people, acknowledging George Floyd's significance will require them to acknowledge his humanity, and we know that is not happening. They just want him to be some weird animal that deserved it or something. I don't know what the fuck. Um, yeah, man, that's really what I wanted to come up here and say, man. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Stop doing that to George Floyd, man.
Notice when
Oh, no,
what
go ahead.
happened to George Floyd happened. Notice how you had a whole bunch of racists out there. They were making memes and jokes. They were doing the whole George Floyd challenge. Do you all remember that? Where they were laying down talking about, well, I can breathe. So George Floyd was lying. They were mocking George Floyd, wearing blackface, all of that stuff, making memes and jokes and things like that. Notice how those same people who were doing that to George Floyd aren't doing that to this woman. They're not out here making crazy, disrespectful memes. They're justifying it, yeah, of course, but they're not making memes and mocking her and doing all of this stuff and talking about her driving. They're not doing that. They don't do that to their own people. I want you guys to understand. They don't do. There's a line, whether you're conservative or liberal, there's a line that they know not to cross when the person is YT.
Yep.
They know that.
Well said.
And stay on code.
She's the
Uh,
victim.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get to Arthur. Arthur.
Good morning, Wadachi Api Oyate Oyesh. So that means good morning, my relatives.
Where you from,
From
Arthur?
South Dakota. I'm 7 generations of Chief Red Cloud.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and my mother is Navajo. She's also 6 generations. I'm 7 generations of Chief Manuelito. So I come from royalty. I listened to everybody. I was just kind of trying to catch up from where everybody's at. I know everybody doesn't have the same walk, whether it be spiritual, emotional, mental, or even physical, as far as where we're born and where you're from are two different things. Because of whether our walks of life or where the Creator put us. I don't know if anybody knows this, but when it comes to transgender, there are 6 transgender animals that are out there
Oh
that
my
don't.
God, dude.
So
We are not on that
Is this
subject.
about the
I know.
topic?
I'm getting to it. So it's funny that people will say this about that, but also what do I say to my black relatives who claim they're native, but they're not, who say they are coming from this blood, and that blood, but they're not. You weren't born into that nation or born into that family or even born into that bloodline, you know, and everybody's more about what they believe or what was said or what was taught or even what they read mostly. So, I'm full. So,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
really. I don't
Well,
really like.
considering the fact that this is off subject, I'm just going to entertain this a little bit. When did your family do the DNA test to qualify for all of that stuff?
I think it
Because
was.
you said you're 7 generations in, so
Yeah, I
that
think it was
means seven
7.
generations ago they must have had some type of DNA blood testing to qualify, because that's the standard that you guys have when it comes to black people. That there's this DNA standard that they have to reach in order to qualify for anything native or indigenous. So I want to know, what date did your family do the DNA test?
We had to get the DNA first before we could even vote. I think it was
Well,
in the 1700s. Also,
no. I mean, there was no DNA testing in the 1700s, though. So
I wouldn't say DNA tests as far as what was categorized as who's native and who's not, because only dogs, horses, and us are all on blood quantum. And that was more about blood quantum was more about who's really native and who's not. But it was more colonization as far as, well, are you supposed to be here or not? It was more
okay, well,
decolonization.
that's okay. I think we're derailing.
So
I'm asking because, and we're just going to talk about this a little bit because this is off subject. um you're saying that, what if your black brothers and sisters who claim to be indigenous or claim to be native but they're not? And I'm asking, what is you said that you're royalty 7 generations in. That means y'all are in for a good minute. 7 generations is a good minute. So how do we know you're really native, or 7 generations of your family are native? How do we know that? Where's the
well,
standard that your family has to reach? If we're going to keep it the same, and black people need a blood quantum, because that's what you just said. Black people need a blood quantum to qualify. Where and when did your family do that?
we did ours. We, as far as the what do you call
Ancestors says
The
so.
ancestors shut them down. But y'all see, they blood quantum, blood quantum. I'm not even refuting that. I'm not even refuting it. All I'm
Oh,
saying is,
bring
okay, if
Marshall
that's the
up.
standard, when did
Hmm.
you all do it? How are you guys just the default? Just automatically, y'all just get to be the default, and everybody
Yeah.
else got to do some type of qualification to get in.
You didn't even
Where,
have
where, where was
DNA
y'all
in
qualifications
1700.
at?
In the
1 minute, Key.
17th century,
1
you didn't
minute,
even
Key.
have DNA. And
Yeah,
his
in the 17th century, we
1
did
minute,
what?
DNA
Key.
testing back then. Oh no,
1
And
minute,
his
Key.
ancestors come from
Afro.
Siberia. His
1 minute.
ancestors
hold
come from
on,
Siberia.
BX at it.
Uh, so here's the issue, right? He called them relative, and then he wanted to kind of disassociate himself with that. Why are Black Americans winning tribal rights? Do we know about the treaty? And this ain't my arena, right?
Hmm.
I identify as a foundational Black American. I stand on amalgamation. I know my indigenous by name, but that doesn't encompass the whole of me. He cannot dictate that my ancestors were not indigenous if I named them, if the tribe they already associated to admit they have multicultural roots. That's my genealogy. But what about the people who are winning tribal rights? So I'm of the belief that those who did that genealogy and understand that they have indigenous ancestors can claim their ancestors, right?
Hmm.
We can't forget about the treaties, how they reneged on the treaties, some tribes, right? There was one more thing I wanted to say, reclassification. There's some intersectionality between the Native Americans and the Black Americans, right? For the simple fact that when natives were we walked the Trail of Tears together. And who didn't want to go on the res, right? Wound up in our communities. So there was some intermingling going on. You don't get to judge or decide how those people identify. As long as they're not stepping on your toes, right? Harming you in any way, they have the right to claim their ancestry. Let's take Kenya Moore, and this be the dumb shit. A whole European, such as her, a melanated woman, was up here giving me heck in the comments that white tea lady on the prompt was Native American. Now, Kenya Moore, right, wore a headdress on the show Real Housewives of Atlanta. And the only reason why this stood out to me is because I started encountering natives on this app, and they were very anti-Black American. She has some native ancestry. She even admitted that. They still made her apologize. But a white lady who looks a whole Irish woman to me, I got to fight for my life. When they want to label her native, we understand about the $5. There is a double standard when it comes to Black Americans. But shout out to those who are winning their tribal recognition and their rights back. I mean, we go at it sometimes, my copper-colored family members. But however, I'm not going to let nobody else tell them they don't have the right to research and then claim and honor their ancestors. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Do you see? For everybody who will be up here, and when we talk about our ethnogenesis in this country as Black Americans, we talk about there were Black people who were here. That's a fact. And people say, well, no, y'all got an identity crisis. You guys are pretendians. You guys are this and that. Okay, fine. All right. So we have to reach all of these qualifications and do all of this blood testing and do all of this and this and this. Yet the people who are out here getting the resources for being indigenous or native, they're on tribal lands and treaties and getting different resources and all of that stuff. When you ask them, okay, well, how can you prove that you're native? Well, I mean, in the 1700s, there were birds and dogs and blood, and my family are like they can't prove that they native at all.
Mm-hmm.
They don't got no proof. He stumbled. He's still not off his mic. He still has not come back.
Drop him after
Okay,
the
he
Man, where
still
he
has
go
not
with the
come back.
transgender dog though? The transgender dog. That's
He said there
crazy.
was transgender animals.
What's the
Like,
That is
what?
comparison? We're
crazy,
not
man.
talking about that. We're talking about the
Y'all see
comparison.
this?
But I've heard people use the argument before about
This is crazy.
natives, the quote unquote natives at least, practicing some forms of transgenderism or some shit like that. I've heard people make that argument before.
Man, it's literally
That's
LGBT
crazy.
think tanks, and they come up with all this crazy stuff to try to keep
Not
pushing
think
this
tanks.
agenda.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this too. I know y'all don't believe in the DNA test, or people diminish the indigenous side of it. You do understand that 3% equals an ancestor, right? At one point in time, they were
Mm-hmm.
full-blooded. We get to claim our ancestors. What is wrong with them? I'm just a black. I'm not just a black. I'm a Black American who's proud of my ancestry. So I do know some of my indigenous by name. So I just don't like when they do that there. But look at the prompt. She's Native American. She's indigenous.
Hell.
She's
The
all
DNA is
Asian.
for entertainment,
And my
really.
ancestors can't be just because I'm black. Like that doesn't make sense to me. That's all. That's my only issue.
Yep.
Oh,
Is the anti-Black Americanness that they have towards our community. Whole $5 looking down on us.
the only reason why they say that about that blood quantum and this, that, and the third is because when you talk about the lands and then being on that doll, you got to be on the doll's road. So they talking about money. It's all the economic thing, and all it is just white supremacy all over again. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
they got pig blood.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
What's up?
and this is what I was trying to make the argument, and you see how he wound up
Flag.
dropping off. The argument, the whole blood quantum argument, that whole thing was set up to filter Black people out. That's why they used it. The whole blood, there was no DNA testing in the 1700s.
Exactly.
That didn't exist back then. It didn't exist until the late 1900s, to be honest. There was no DNA testing like that until the late 1900s. That DNA testing is a relatively newer science, which is why it's inaccurate a lot of times. You can only trace it by markers, so you can find out who your parents are, or maybe your brother or cousins, but you can't trace it back hundreds of years like that. The science is not together like that. So I'm asking, okay, well, where was your qualifications to be in this tribe or something like that? And they can't prove that they are these people will literally, who are the default, who society has deemed the default, will sit up there and they will tell people they are the ones who get to let people in the door, but they can't prove that they deserve to be in the room. You see that? They can't prove that they qualify, but they want to tell other people if they qualify or not. You see that?
And didn't even answer the prompt and stuff.
Didn't even address the prompt. And I gave him a chance too. I'm like, okay, that's not about the prompt. Let me get to the prompt. And then he didn't address the prompt. I said, okay, since this ain't going to be about the prompt, let's talk about this then.
And that was the second person in a row that came up and
One
told me
minute,
that he
one
was
minute.
African
So
descent.
I was on Twitter. I love reading comments because I find things to research, right? And they said the most accurate, and this is Grok. I don't know who likes Grok, but Grok said the most accurate part of the DNA test is the European, and the African is just the estimate because it doesn't work in absolutes for them. Due to one reason or another, y'all. I forgot what they said about indigenous. I'm sorry, y'all got to look it up. But for the most part, European is the most accurate on the DNA test. African is the least accurate. My source is Grok. Go ask Grok.
All
For
right.
23 and me.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Foundational, you got something on the
You a
screen to
little
me.
late, foundational. I was up here scrambling. I said, what the you know how I do this?
Look, the
But you
second
just
we
had
said
to
something
answer
about native and I saw
foundational.
Now I'm
foundational up here, I
laughing.
knew he was coming up. I said, okay.
Yeah, I laugh because he came up with the two spirit animals. He started talking about two spirit animals and LGBT. He started talking about stuff that got nothing to do with what we talking about. But the thing is, they can't argue. So the thing is, what's happening is there's too much truth coming out. We had Chief Warhorse. Chief Warhorse just got recognized recently that she's a melanated American Indian. You can look up Chief Warhorse. She's got recognized and officially by the state. So again, so what's happening? They back in the corner and they fighting, scratching, hooting, and hollering. And what they don't understand is that the mutation for white T skin, which is SLC 45A2 and SLC 24A5, is only 3,000 to almost 8,000 years old. Now they said in Europe, white T skin was there barely 3,000 years ago. So in Europe, where white T people originated, right, quote unquote, how can they 3,000 years ago not be melanated, but you're gonna tell me over here in America they're gonna be like white T skin and brighter and lighter? No, we're not gonna play that game. And like I said earlier, when it come down to it, the equator don't just wrap around Africa. I think people forget it wraps around the whole earth. So anywhere, any place around the equator, you're going to see melanated people with big nose, broad nose, and big lips, and all that. And so this is again, they can try to hide from the facts, but the facts are the facts. And then when we talk about Louisa, right? They found Louisa, and then when they realized, hold on, this melanated features, they all of a sudden the museum burned down, right? But they don't talk about the husband, Apiana, right? That was next to it, and they don't talk about the brother Dorium, right? You can look them up. That all look melanated, right? And so they trying to hide those facts, but the facts are the facts. And they didn't even test her actual bones. They test bones in the area and said, wait, no, this is connected to the so-called natives. So they playing games with the history is what I'm trying to say. And then you got these people coming up. They don't care about what you're talking about. They coming up to push their narrative. And that's what he came up here for. Because they scared, they backed in the corner, and they know the truth is coming out.
Yep, real talk. Yep. Let me say that. I appreciate that. Always bringing the receipts. I appreciate that. You know.
I
Did
don't
you?
really want
I appreciate you, family.
Afro. I'm sorry. I think the Native Americans plan certain things, right? When one enters the chat, they rush the chat. I'm not playing with Native $5. I'm not playing with anybody today or any day. For the simple fact is that it's not insulting. The information that you're hearing is just different. And instead of them going to do their research, they want to get on my nerves and at me. You'll be muted. Right? Because if I don't hear something, I might give a little pushback. And then I said, well, let me go look it up. I sit with the computer by me. I had to admit that I had something wrong against somebody who I never really agree with. But we have to be willing to do the research and then come to certain discussions with an informed opinion. Not everything is about trolling on this app. It's about education. You didn't grow up with the elders we grew up with, who knew the elders, who had guidance from the elders. Like, you didn't stick with these people. We did. And there's points in history where you got to admit the Native Americans were mother to our ancestors. Why we had the Buffalo Soldiers. I'm learning out more and more and more about them. Like, let's stop. Let's be for real. It's anti-Black hatred. And just because you think it's offensive to Native Americans, I think it's highly offensive that my people are still fighting for tribal rights due to a treaty that was signed by your tribe. See how that works? So go research Native Americans and come back with informed decision, and don't go on teacup acting like you're Googling when you just scared to drop because you know you wrong.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, sure
Yeah.
do. Let's
Yeah.
And
let's get
Yeah,
to
for sure.
HR, and then yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Afro Elite. Yeah. So, and to everybody on the panel, shout out to ZZ. I really love her channel. And just a quick introduction. Maybe I don't know if you guys forgot, but I remember I saw you at the rally. I didn't meet you, but I did meet Black Alpha. I wanted to kind of run into Mr. Nasheed, but I missed him too. But yeah, it was a few years. It was a couple of years back, but it was nice seeing you the guys there. But at any rate, yeah. So I actually, yeah, the graphic. This is what I was going to talk about. So this white woman is actually being a lot of white people are actually surprised for whatever reason that their privilege is kind of messed up when it comes to this ICE thing, because if you guys been kind of been paying attention to this, they've been kind of setting this up as far as making excuses for when they harm somebody. So they've been taking people out all year, by the way. Well, all last year, and you guys know that in just in 2025 alone, like 32 or 35 people actually passed away under ICE custody. So the only issue is that this woman just happened to be white. That's why everybody's all up in arms about it. But
Yep.
outside of that, I mean, they've been taking people out since they started. 6 people alone last year, and then just while they were in custody, like I said, over 30 people. So the people losing their life to ICE is not the issue. It's just this happens to be a white woman. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, and this is why I keep trying to tell black folk to stay completely out of this situation where they
Yeah.
going out there. Let's be honest. If we know we have race soldiers in the police department, and we know we have some in the fire department, and we know we have some in pretty much every department, we can pretty much assume that there are going to be some in ICE.
Right.
Okay. Now, we are not their mission, so they're not going to be looking for us because we're not immigrants. But that does not mean that if we get out there and we start wilding and we start obstructing justice and we start getting in their way and getting in their face, that doesn't mean that that inner YT supremacist isn't going to get triggered and come out, which is why I've been telling folk, we need to stay completely out of this situation and mind our business. This ain't got nothing to do with us. We ain't being heroes for nothing moral anyway. If we did this, we're not putting our safety lives on the line for anything that serves us, for anything dignified or moral in the first place, or for anybody who would do it for us. These people wouldn't chip a nail to save us, and we out here taking a chance, risking our lives for them? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We need to stay as far away from this as possible. When we see ICE, we need to back up, stay out the way. She wasn't doing that. She was using her car to block them, to help them out and block them. Hey, that's what happens.
Well, so the other thing too is they're using the fact that that ICE officer who took her out actually had an incident not too long ago. So they're like, okay, well, this person, it's kind of dealing with something from the past where somebody tried to harm him. And so that's kind of they're using that as an excuse as to why he reacted. Now, and I don't know if you checked it out, but Professor Black Truth actually did a really good breakdown on it, and he talked about again all of the lives that ICE has taken in the last year and a half or so, and then I looked up how many people they lost in ICE custody, or actually lost their lives in ICE custody. And I will say this: now you're right; it's not so much they're messing with Black Americans, but if you're Black and you have an accent, they are screwing with you because there was one dude he was trying to. He was talking real reckless to a it was a border patrol really up in Minnesota. So they got border patrol up there too to help augment the ICE folks. And he clearly had an accent and he was Somali, but he said, "Hey, y'all out here bothering Black people." So he kind of pulled the Black card when for the longest time. And as I understood it, they keep saying that they're Somali, not Black. But at any rate, he did have an accent. He clearly was dark skinned, melanated, and all the other stuff. Looked like a Black man, but basically, he was talking real wild and reckless to that border patrol agent. So if you have an accent, yeah, they're coming to see you. But if you say, "Hey, look, yeah, I might be in the area, but I'm definitely Black American. Ask me anything, whatever. Here's my ID, whatever. They're pretty much gonna kind of not deal with you. But if that accent pops out, yeah, they're gonna come at you if you have to be Black, because they are doing that.
Hey, well, I mean, the thing is that it's America, okay? If you have an accent, that means you're not from here. That's just what it is. Let's tell the truth about that. I mean, first off, it doesn't even take that long to lose an accent. Okay? There are some people who are immigrants who don't have an accent at all. You couldn't tell by their accent. They sound just like us by their accent because were here for a few generations. It don't take that long to lose an accent. If somebody has an accent, that means that they just got here. Okay? That means that all of these people, that means that they just got here. They stay around their own people and all of that stuff. So, hey, come on now. Let's be honest. If you got an accent, that means that you're not from here. And that's what ICE's job is, Come on, we just gonna act like we adults today. Just gonna do that. Hey, and as far as they concerned, I don't know why, if you did have an accent, you would be messing with ICE. Why would you be putting that target on your own back? See, you're not thinking, but that's not our problem, regardless.
I don't know if I heard anybody bring this up yet though, but there was some talks of this being a conspiracy. Now y'all know I keep the 10-4 bonnet close by. It's either on or right beside me. So I mean, I don't think it's too far fetched, but it just kind of triggered me to think about this movie that they keep praising and keep trying to give all these nominations to is One Battle After Another. And we know One Battle After Another was all about a push for immigration. They had black people, everybody and their mama in that joint, advocating for immigrants and trying to, and literally going up against ICE. I mean, going up against the immigration agents that were there, but seemingly ICE. So I'm like, is this just another play on the chessboard of white supremacy? Because I don't think it's a coincidence that now out of at the top of the year, now we're seeing a white T woman get murdered or be labeled a martyr or a victim, of ICE. And now you got all these people protesting. You got them running up in hotels where they think ICE is staying. It's like it's propaganda to get people riled up. Maybe to go up against, start some sort of civil war up against ICE. It's a conspiracy. And it's a little, 10-4 bonnet conspiracy.
Well, yeah, we can't rule anything out. Can't rule anything out now, can we? But I think this was a good conversation. It's a pretty decent conversation so far. We've had some, trolls and things like that. People got us off subject, but ABC, you came back up. I know. Did you want to say something else?
Yes, I wanted to say that the situations are not the same, of course. But I also wanted to bring in a situation that really didn't get any coverage whatsoever that is somewhat similar about the dude that's in California that they're not really talking about.
Okay.
Keith Porter.
He was
yeah.
Haitian. Oh no, he wasn't Haitian. Not the Haitian man. Was he a Haitian man?
I don't think that he was Haitian. I thought he was Black American.
I didn't think.
So
I don't think he was Black American.
I heard of one story who was in.
He was Haitian.
I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure he was not a Black American.
If he was a Black American, our people would be in California fucking rallying. Stop playing in our face.
So he's melanated.
Gotcha.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we were talking about the same person. Continue. I just needed clarity.
Oh wait, so the gentleman that did the pew pews in the air, he Haitian?
I believe he was Haitian.
Okay.
Florida's from there, right? Yeah. Keith Porter.
Yeah, I thought that he was Black American.
Well, there was an instance I saw on the post, right? Forgive me, and it was one of us saying we're not coming out there. He's non-FBA, so yeah. Unless there were two melanated people who were.
Nope. Nope.
Okay,
That's the situation I'm talking about. Nope.
Yeah. But go ahead, give us what
No.
happened.
I have no more words.
And see, that's what being on code is, ABC. I can respect that. How you doing, ABC?
I'm here.
I was just saying hello.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I wanted to speak to the prom. I didn't get the chance, so I kind of went off on the Two Spirit dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it.
All right. So yeah, this situation is definitely not the same. The difference is this lady, she made a choice to go and protest for illegal for immigrants doing fraudulent behavior. right? And so she went to back and protest for people doing fraudulent behavior, undermining our communities. And what she did was she made the choice to try to not comply and try to not just kind of listen to what's going on and what they ask. And so unfortunately things like that happen. That's a big difference than actually being targeted by somebody. Like you made the choice to go all the way out your way. I think she was 30 miles away, if I'm not mistaken, 30, 40 miles away from the actual scene.
You said she lived that far?
Yeah, about 30, 40 miles away from the scene.
Oh, I didn't know it was that far at all. I knew it
Yeah.
wasn't by her house, but I didn't know it was that far.
Yeah, they from what I read is about 30 to 40 miles away from the scene. So she made a commitment to go all the way out there to go protest for fraudulent activity that's being done in our communities, people that was making and doing fraudulent activity. So again, she made that choice, right? When it come down to George Floyd, that wasn't a choice. That wasn't like, hey, I want to go somewhere and then this happened, right? So this is not the same. And then especially when they say to say her name, that's that, you know what that remind me of? That remind me of black fatigue. If we allow them to switch that up and take over that, they're gonna do exactly what they did to black fatigue, where there's an actual definition for it in the meaning, but people are switching it up for something else. When you say her name, there's actually a justice cause behind it. There's situation and things that happen, and the reason why people even said that, and now people are using it as if as if it's something they could just throw out there. No, we're not gonna play that game, right? Hold on one second, family.
Yeah, that is true. Because that dilutes it. It waters it down tremendously. And then it makes it seem like anytime we say her name or say his name, it's when they're doing something wrong. When we say that, when the whole say her name thing was about actual victims. If you start allowing other people to utilize that term or that slogan for people who are in the wrong, then it waters it down. It dilutes it.
Yeah, I even heard them chanting "No justice, no peace." I'm like, why the hell
Oh
y'all taking
gosh.
out shit? What the hell?
Yeah, I'm back. That's kind of what I wanted to kind of say. We got to understand for the last 65 years, we've been the emotional currency of the world. We've been jumping in front of everyone's atrocities. We kind of been pouring our empty cups into other people and haven't been pouring into our own. So therefore, people are used to all of our pretty much blueprint that when it comes down to their own justice claims, they don't have nothing else but to use but our blueprint, right? They can't make up their own things. They can't make up nothing. They revert back to the things we say, the things we do, how we maneuver, because they're so used to us being in the front that they don't know what to do. They walk around with their heads like with their heads popped off, right? If you look at the last protest, um, they was jumping on top of cars. They was going crazy. They was just looking wild. It's all unorganized and everything. And you see them on top of cars waving the flag. It's like, what? You just wasting time and just bodies outside. There's no real goal, no real mission. They were just doing things because they didn't have the order, the structure, and the balance of the things that we do. And so that people are lost when they come down to the protest. And I'll land on that.
Yeah, that's true. Out here and notice that they're trying to use our slogans and stuff. I heard some dude at like some rally or protest or something. He was all like, by any means necessary. I said, we're gonna
Come
y'all
on.
are the most I literally heard him say that. I said, I played it on YouTube too. I said, y'all are the most unoriginal people. I said, y'all can't come up with nothing
Like
by yourself.
literally, damn.
Did you
Everything we do, y'all sit up there. Okay, well they did it, so that works. So we're gonna do the exact. It's copy paste with them.
did you see the
Oh
video
my
of the
god.
the folks using civil rights songs? They literally
Oh,
were going, "I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around." I
Oh
am not
Lord.
joking. And then they started replacing it with ICE agents. We ain't gonna let no ICE agents turn us around. Like they started, trying to add stuff into it. And they kind of ran out of stuff. And then one of the white ladies shouted, "Well, anybody got anything else?" The whole thing was weird.
wow.
Look,
That's a
this is
lot.
how you know they didn't build the country. This is how you know they didn't build the country. They're not original enough to build a country. They
Yeah.
don't have enough creativity to do
Right.
anything. This is how you know they can't build, how you know pretty much all of the major inventions in this country came from us. They're not creative people. They're copy paste. Everything that they do, they stole. They can't make nothing. They can't even make a term. Whether they got to take our stuff woke. They got to take that. You know what I'm saying? Say her name, got to take that. Everything they do, they got to take from us
Black
and make some
fatigue.
type of crazy copy.
And they
Oh
couldn't
God.
even do the dab dance correctly. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, they can't. They dances, they mute, everything. So
You know
you know
what?
they can't make nothing.
That tinfoil bonnet shit, I think it might be, you know what, this could be a conspiracy too, just to make it seem like, for them to rewrite history, so that way later on when they look back, it's like, oh, well, you know, the immigrants had to go through the same thing those FBAs did. You know, they were getting chased down and hunted, and they were had to hide in people's houses. Like they was fucking, what's her name, Anne Frank, and they was, yeah, you know, they was being attacked, and there was so much propaganda, and you know, there's even their allies, like the white tea women, were getting attacked. You know, Renee Good. And so I think they're trying to. I think this might be something orchestrated. The next few events we probably see. That has to do with ICE or somebody something having to do with ICE might be orchestrated for them to rewrite history, just make it seem like that they are going through some of this work. So eventually, if it goes the way the Dems wanted to go, people like AOC, they get reparations. Because mind you, AOC is the same woman that was saying that the damn immigrants who was being held at the border a couple years ago deserve reparations. So this is going to be, oh, we have, you know, we can't just give reparations to you black folks. We have so many other groups
That's
that's been
crazy.
affected. Since these last few years, especially under the Trump administration, we needed reparations for the Trump administration alone. So yeah, we're gonna have to prioritize these people before we get to anybody else. Because they went through the worst tragedy in history, in recent history. So we have to make sure that they're repaired. Tenfold bonnet, you know, conspiracy. Who knows?
Well, the
Could
last
be,
conspiracy
could
that
be.
they,
Let's get to, hold on. The ghost of Nat Turner hasn't spoken yet, so let's get to him. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. What's up? What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Talk
Has
to us,
in,
brother. Talk to us.
has anyone noticed how aggressive this woman was? Like, has anybody seen this new footage that's come out about her?
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the ICE officer's angle, from his
I missed it.
body cam footage.
Yeah, I think that's the new one that showed. It was a separate event though. I think it was like near her house or something, and her and another lady was talking to an ICE agent, and she actually ran over an ICE agent. You haven't seen that?
You said a separate event?
Yes, this is
Well, she
something
just
totally.
running everybody over there.
Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah,
like,
yeah. So this lady was very aggressive, very antagonistic. She went out of her way to make confrontations, and then, like they normally do, they play the victim once something happens. But she was not a saint by any means. In fact, she was a villain in some sorts. But yeah,
notice.
check that footage out.
Yeah,
It'll
I'm gonna have to look
definitely.
that up. And notice too, they're all like, she's a mother, she's a mother. Notice these people are willing to sacrifice their children.
Yeah.
You know, you're willing to, even if you don't think that you're gonna, you know, lose your life with this pursuit. You know for a fact you can go to jail. You know you can be arrested. You know you could be separated from your kids. With the woman that allowed that illegal immigrant to come in her house and was protecting her. I'm looking around the house, I see kid toys, baby toys on the floor and around the house. There's a baby in the house, or at least who lives in the house. And yet you're allowing this complete stranger to hide in your house, to seek refuge in your home and avoid law enforcement. These people are willing to put their kids on the line, or at least to have their kids separated from them, all under the guise of protecting illegal, keyword, illegal
It's that moral
immigrants.
superiority that they have that makes them feel like if they think something is right, then it's right across the board, no matter what.
I'm telling you, these people, come on now. We're not going to make it seem like she was reckless. She was a criminal. That what she did was a crime. Okay. And she didn't sacrifice herself or anything for anything just. I could give it to somebody who's sacrificing something under the guise of justice. If this was George Floyd, for instance, and people were out there protesting, and you're doing this under the guise of justice, I could commend that. This is not under the guise of justice. You're literally doing this to protect people who literally broke the law by entering into the country or staying in the country.
Yeah.
Them being in the country is a violation of the law, and you're protecting them. That's not moral or just or patriotic.
And if I'm not mistaken,
And
oh, go
by
ahead.
praising her, I'm seeing people have different murals and stuff like that. By praising her, you're pedestalizing her actions, and you're memorializing her actions and making it seem as if what she did is honorable, and it wasn't. She lost her life under something that was dishonorable. And
Yeah,
I just don't want black people to get involved in it. That's all I'm saying.
no doubt. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, brother. Sage is in here, and then we can, I guess, wrap stuff up there.
First of all, me and Afro got beef. I told Afro to let me know when he get on TikTok. He don't never let me know. So BX and ZZ, I'm just letting y'all know me and Afro got beef.
Oh man.
Because I'm catching this at the end. Family, I'm catching this at the end. I just happened to open TikTok and there it go. So, well, first of all, much love to the family. Hope everyone is doing good. I'm being lazy today. It's raining and gray out here on the East Coast, so it is what it is. I'm just in the crib. But I think that you said something that was very interesting, Afro. And first of all, I want to give credit to you because I didn't know that Jasmine Crockett actually cried during a hearing in Congress for this woman that got her that the
Yeah.
situation happened. Yeah, I seen your
Was choking
broadcast.
up and all that.
Yeah. And my issue with my issue with Jasmine is that I didn't see that energy when the situation with Sonya Massey happened. I didn't see that energy, that emotion. Let me say emotion when Sonya Massey, that situation happened. When the George Floyd situation happened, where was that emotion at then? You know, my issue with this female is that she, like you said, brother, they'll lose their employment because obviously that's a job, Congress, to help out these people that have broken the law. Now, we never get rewarded for breaking the law. If you come to a country and you are not invited, or if you overstay your visa, you are breaking the law. That is a clear violation of the law. Now, they have all types of like papers all over, New York on how to evade ICE. Last I checked, ICE, those are federal officers, correct? Which means they work for the federal government. Why would you teach people on how to evade that? You're not teaching the citizens on how to evade Chicago PD or NYPD or you're not teaching on LAPD. You're not teaching us on how to evade them. But you will go out your way for people that cannot vote for you to teach them how to evade federal officers. And then you sit here and you talk about how people have rights. And this is what I don't like too. If you are not a citizen of this nation, why are you experiencing our rights? Why no, I'm gonna just be real here. Why are you even owed a day in court if you are not a citizen of this nation? You have to understand, if you are non-white, this is TikTok, someone passed on. We can say that, right? Passed on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. Yeah. Someone passed on in order for you to have any type of rights or any type of privileges nowadays. And that someone looked like us. So my thing is, but they didn't do it for people that technically are criminals themselves. Because again, if you came over here and you were not invited, you are technically a criminal. Or if you overstayed, you are a criminal. It doesn't matter. Like, so what I'm saying, what I'm learning now is, especially in 2020, after 2021, I would say, is that there's certain crimes that we give a pass to, and there's certain crimes that we like to crack down on. And that's no different from Biden's law. We can say his name, right? Yeah, Biden's law. Yeah, there's no different from that. And I hope you guys know what I'm talking about when I mention that law that occurred. I'm trying to watch
you
my
can say
language.
that the crime bill.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So my thing is there's no difference. So you're willing to overlook these people that have crossed the border illegally, but you're not going to help out the citizens that actually vote for you. Now, a lot of people have a lot to say about the Northerners or the East Coast people, but Jasmine Crockett is from Texas. Where are all the Texas people that voted for her? Did you vote for that? Did you truly vote for that? Because again, I don't see what benefit these people are bringing. Again, I do not live in Texas, so I don't know what the benefit, if they're bringing benefit down there, but I don't see what they're bringing to New York. I can tell you what they're bringing, but not on this platform. But they're not bringing good things. Let me just say that. So what I'm frustrated about again is that there are a lot of people that were locked up unjustly. Mumi Abu Jamal still in prison, to this day he's in prison. And I don't see Jasmine Crockett crying over that. I don't see her even mentioning. I wonder if she even knows who that is, to be honest with you. We have freedom fighters that have been locked up for years. And you're crying over this mother that lost her life. Okay, cool. All right, not a problem. But again, you got people like a Tatiana Jefferson. You have people like George Floyd. You have Alton Sterling. You have many of these people that have passed on. And I didn't see tears from her. So what I would say to Jasmine Crockett moving on is that the people that you are able to garnish your quote unquote tears from, your tears for, make sure that they can vote for you next time. Because whatever kind of gerrymandering that's going on in Texas, we're not going to bat for you no more, Jasmine. You figure it out. And to the New Yorkers, the council members and the state representatives that are giving out information on how to evade ICE, on how to, quote unquote, know your rights. Why aren't they going to jail as well? Because last time I checked, aiding and abetting is also a crime. I had a family
Now
member.
you cooking.
I had a family member that was on the run. Yeah, it is what it is. We know saints over here. It is what it is. And aiding, quote unquote, aiding and abetting. I want to let you guys know I'm not making this up. Aiding and abetting is a crime. So if you keep people that are wanted for any reason, you are now complicit in that crime. And with that, I'm gonna land.
Yep, that's true. That's 100% true. You don't even have to be, to be very honest with you, you don't even have to be that involved in it. You don't got to be sitting up there blocking the cops or anything like that. If somebody who the cops are looking for runs up in your house and you don't let the cops come get them, they will say that you're aiding and abetting. If you knew where they were and they asked you and you lied to them, they say that's aiding and abetting.
Correct.
If you say, I don't know, and they found out that you actually did know, you're not helping them, but you know where they are and you tell them that they don't, they'll arrest you for that. They'll say that's a crime.
Correct.
The slightest little assistance, if we don't help the police, they'll say that's obstructing justice. If we warn somebody, I've seen them be all like, this is the signal. Warn them when they're down the street so they can go and hide. If you try to warn somebody that the police are on their way, that's a crime. Now with them, they'll say it's their First Amendment right. You see that? That's their First Amendment right to warn a criminal that the police are coming. With us, they call that obstruction of justice. And you are aiding and abetting a wanted fugitive. And you will be arrested for that.
You know what, Afro, and another thing he kind of mentioned earlier, how she was teaching people to, I guess, avoid ICE, right? I think people forget that this is not Obama ICE, right? This is not the ICE with the paintball OC, with the OC spray, right? This is Trump ICE, federalized, militarized, and with pew pew in your eyes if you play around, right? And so people got to understand that her teaching them to do that is going to get a lot of people hurt. This is not the ICE of back in the day. This is a different type of ICE, and people need to be wise, be careful, And I think that's why that lady thought she could do what she do, because she thought that was Obama's ICE, and she found out, family, unfortunately. So her teaching that is very dangerous. She's going to get a lot of people hurt. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're describing, Afro, is well, excuse me, not you, Afro. What my brother's describing is basically, and again, this is TikTok, so I'm gonna say something without saying it. In the 1930s and mid 40s, in the country of Germany, there were it was a group that was going around, and yeah. So they received orders too from the person that was in charge at the time over there, and they did what they carried out those orders that were given to them. And that's basically what ICE is doing nowadays. They're just carrying out orders that are given to them. Now, what this person probably thought, excuse me, was that she had a privilege. Let's just be honest here, because if you've seen the video that led up to it, she felt, and her little partner that was outside, they felt that they had privilege, that they can say and do whatever they want. Now, I don't know if that came from their elected officials or whatever the case is, because these elected officials tell you what you can and cannot do. But I'm going to be honest, when you're in the street, when you're in the field, things are different and you need to act accordingly. Especially if you're one that's active and that's outside, you need to act accordingly. I don't care what no representative or no elected official tells you. They will be treated differently than you will be treated. But anyway, so this, from what I gauge, whatever the situation was, you were in the vehicle and the person was walking. And that person, because all that person has to say, or probably is gonna say, is that they feared for their life. And now you got AOC calling for the fullest extent of the law to be executed on this person. Well, here's my thing for AOC. Wasn't you trying to protect illegal asylees, or however you called it, about 2 or 3 years ago? When Tom Homan and her had that whole showdown, I want to say, you were trying to protect people that broke the law as well. So if you feel that this officer should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, what about your people, AOC, that came over here uninvited? So again, my thing is, I've never heard AOC, because in New York, people have been unalived for the last 8 days, 9 days, but maybe once a day, if that. I don't see AOC speaking out against that, specifically in her district too. So I don't understand, truly, I don't understand what they're trying to get at with this. Maybe they feel that certain people deserve to be mistreated and certain people do not deserve to be mistreated. Maybe that's what they're getting at. Maybe this isn't a part of the big plan. Maybe we're supposed to be the ones that get the mistreatment, and they're, be easier on them than you would on the others. I truly don't understand. But what I would say, before we jump into any conclusions with this situation, we need to check if that woman in that car, if she had any fentanyl in her system, because she might not have passed on from the pew pew. She actually might have had, pre-existing injuries that we don't know of yet. So we need to get the whole full story before we jump to conclusions. That's all I will say to the family. Let's figure out if there was some type of something in her system. And maybe someone should do a documentary on that too, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. This thing, like Zizi said, it might be a whole hoax. It might be a big conspiracy. She might be alive. This might be a whole stunt that she pulled off or something like that. We don't know. She might be a dangerous criminal who endangered pregnant women. We don't know that. She could be a crisis actor. Possibly. I mean, there's a lot of questions we have to ask. So, maybe a documentary is necessary.
I wonder what her father did for a living, and I'm thinking about Harambe for right now. I wonder, we need to check up on her parents and what their records are in the system. We need to look all of that up too, as well, because does she have any pictures using drugs in pictures? Does she have anything like that? We need to check and see. I just don't think the story's over right now.
Yeah. before we call somebody a victim, we need to do all of the evidence. We need to know all of the facts. It's not
Yeah.
just about that time. It's about everything the person has ever done in their life and things that they didn't even do. We need to know all of that.
Yeah, we got to see the full context of the whole video. Maybe that's not all of the video. We got to see the full context of the
Correct. We don't
video.
know what
And
happened
she should
before
have
the
come. I think
camera
she
came
should have
on.
complied. To be honest with you,
I agree.
right? Maybe she should have complied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's be honest. You know, if you weren't doing anything wrong, why didn't you just get out the car? I mean, come on now.
All she had to do was see. All she got to do is see the judge. She should go. She could go home and see the judge and call it a day. Comply. What happened?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
you
if
could sit
these
there in
people were
court, you
just
know.
used to kind of pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, maybe they could, have a culture of discipline. And I think that would have helped if she would have had a
No,
better
that's
culture of
not it. That's
discipline.
not it, Afro. You know what? I blame Taylor Swift's music. You know what? It's Taylor Swift. Yeah, I think it's the music that's doing it to them. Maybe, I don't know any Taylor Swift songs, so unfortunately I can't quote it right now. But, it's the music. Maybe it's the music that's doing it. That's what I think.
I think so. I mean, the degeneracy that they listen to, the rebel. Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, and any other Justin. Like, come on. Like, we all know. Let's be honest. Elvis Presley. He was a rebel in his time. So, it's a lot of them out there doing crimes and things.
It could be the white. It could be the white tee on white tee crime. That honestly, I think that's what it is. The white tee on white tee crime that just made her feel like she had to get in that type of energy to want to do what she did instead of complying. The white tee on white tee crime. That culture is really a culture of that we need to start focusing on. If we're really worried about the white tee on white tee crime, I think that should be a conversation we should talk about the white tee on white tee crime. To be honest with you.
Well, we can't forget about the fatherless homes. Y'all know that lady ain't had no man in the house. I think that's what it might have been. I think that.
Oh, so that explains it then.
I'm just saying.
I didn't know that. She's a single mom. We need to talk about the single mom, damn, what's that? What's the word I'm thinking?
Hey, let's just be honest. And this is the uncomfortable conversation, because everybody's such a snowflake. They can't accept the truth, but let's tell the truth about it. You know what I'm saying? We got to tell the truth. These people, a lot of them, let's be honest, a lot of them, they're entitled because of DEI. Come on. I'm going to say it. They're entitled because of DEI. DEI helps their people out a lot. So, they're just used to getting free stuff. They're not used to working hard and developing that good character that, we need. They're not used to that.
We need to
You forgot
examine too.
one.
How did she run her baby father off? We need to talk about that. How and why did you run your baby father off? Why did he leave? Maybe that said something about that young lady.
That's true. I mean, it's a lot of it's a lot of stuff we got to analyze in their community. We need a few documentaries about them in their community. Let's be honest.
By any chance, did she have a hoodie on? By any chance? We need to
I think
look
she
at
did. I think
maybe her
she did.
clothing. Yeah, maybe he felt threatened. We need to look at the clothing. We need to look at all of that. I mean, there's more to the story.
Yeah, we do
It's
know we do know the narcotics are a thing in that community, right? That's something that I think we do need to study on. That it's been going rampant and running rampant. It's an epidemic in the community. I think that may be the issue. I'm not too sure. It's something that we actually have to kind of care about, study on, and see have that conversation.
We also need to say the same thing that they say. The officer needs to make it home to his family.
True.
That's
That's
true.
true.
I mean, they have a dangerous job, right? What happened to
Yeah.
that? They have a dangerous job. It's a dangerous job that
Oh
they have.
yes.
Oh my goodness. He was scared. What would anybody do?
He was in fear for his life, and he deserves to go home as well. Imagine if you were standing in front of that vehicle when it lunged forward like that. He deserves to go home as well. What about his family? Jasmine is crying about her family. What about his family? They would have been fatherless. Like,
That's true. And
Yeah.
is
No
it
comment.
because
I'm not gonna say it.
she's raising her kids in a fatherless home? She wants his kids to be raised in a fatherless home? Is this some type of revenge against fathers in
No.
their community? Because their community doesn't like fathers like that. I don't think so. It could be that.
Yeah, but honestly, all lives matter, right?
Mm,
I get it, but all lives matter. We're not gonna sit there and just paint it on. All of our lives matter. That's what's the most important part about it.
mm,
And we need
that's
to talk
true.
about the lingering effects too that this might have on that officer because he had to protect his life. So we need to talk about the lingering effects on him. So she's not the victim here. We need to, he's most likely the victim. And
Yeah.
sometimes the victim wins.
And the thing is that because they beat down on ICE so bad, ICE is afraid to do their job. ICE is afraid to do their job because they got handcuffs on them, and if these people would just respect ICE more, ICE wouldn't have to do that. Where in society do we not respect them? Like, why are we having this society where they get to rage out with this stuff?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Didn't Jim Crow Joe say about refunding the police?
Mm,
I stand on that, Joe. Yeah, Joe. We should refund ICE. Absolutely. Because they need mental, they need mental training because I'm telling you, this guy, he has to live with that now. And we need to think about him as well. So does he have a GoFundMe? Because we need to look that up and we need to support him.
Yes, mental healing and reconciliation, please.
mm. That's true. That's
Y'all
true.
know what? I'm not that witty today. I don't know. Is the word desensitized? I didn't even see the video. I didn't even go. At the end of the day, the illegal immigrants still gotta get that up out of here. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Life goes on. Just stop the comparisons. There's no comparison. So I just want to say this. Comply and you won't de-ice, because I can't say the word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they still gotta go. I think that's what we're missing. ICE will still be in operation, right? And she did that. I don't know what it's like. Looked like two people were bored and said, "Let me take my ass over here and get in some mess." And they got in some mess. Now, why isn't the girlfriend being arrested? Wasn't she the agitator, the instigator? Hold her accountable. Do you know that she was like, let's take this instance. There's a getaway driver and somebody's unalived in the house of invasion, but the getaway driver gets caught down the block. Getaway drivers doing football numbers. Why the girlfriend ain't doing football numbers or facing football numbers yet? I'm waiting for that arrest.
That's
Bro.
true. You got to get them all in order to solve the crime. Because what's going to happen is, and let's be honest, with their community, and I'm going to say it, even though it's not politically correct, but we're too soft on crime. We're way too soft on crime. And we allow them to go around and commit crime after crime after crime. And she got away with committing. We're too soft on crime. They need to be held accountable.
Somebody in the comments section said, "Hands up, don't shoot." That just oh, that cracked me up. Like, okay, we're extra petty today. Okay.
Yeah, I like this right
That's
now.
grace.
Okay, we got somebody new on the panel. We got a couple people in the queue. Let me let some of these folk up. We got a couple people. We were gonna wrap it up, but we're gonna let a couple people come in here and chop it up for a little bit. I am Deca.
Hi there.
How you
How's
doing?
everybody? Good, I'm good. I just came up because I just wanted to quickly get clarification on what BX said just now. Is she referring to the dead woman when she was just speaking?
Where are you
Yes,
from?
and I need your ethnic group.
Where you?
Sorry?
Yeah. What?
You want to know my ethnic group? Okay, Somali Canadian. What does
Okay,
that
so
have to
I
do
was
with my question?
referring to the topic at hand, the topic of conversation. So if
No,
you
I'm just
heard me
asking you, who were
speaking,
you
it was
referring
very
to?
clear and concise. I did not stutter, and everybody else understood it.
No, I only heard part of it. I just came
Okay,
up
Okay.
with
Yeah.
a
Well,
question.
the
what's the
question. Yeah.
issue?
To answer it, yes, because that is what we're talking
Okay.
about. So.
All right. So, did you get a chance, PX, to actually see the full video from all angles?
BX
Were you
don't
able to?
care. right?
Because
The
if he
legal
did,
still have to go. So,
okay,
ma'am,
my point in
if you heard what I said at the end of the day, we're moving forward and the legal still have to go home. I did not see the full video because I'm not interested in the full video. But I did see Ilya Omar, what her and her people are doing down there in Minnesota, and think that the military should go in there because I don't know how they think they could take over a United States state.
so
That ain't
you're
their
angry about
country.
something
This ain't
else.
their country, ma'am. I'm not
Okay,
talking to
so
a
Afro, it
Somalian
sounds
about
like this
anything. You're in
lady is
Canada,
sticking up on a
ma'am.
dead woman
You're in
because she.
Canada. Don't come up here talking to BX. I don't care about Somalians, and I don't care that you got some feelings about something. You're a whole gentrifier to Canada, ma'am. Go fix Somalia. Don't talk to a foundational Black
And you
American
need to
about
go back
anything
to
in this
Africa where you
country.
belong.
I'm done with you, ma'am. I'm done. I said what I
Like you're
said, and
really
I
angry
meant it.
though. Why?
We're
No,
moving
no.
on.
Now, look, she asked that question. It's always one of them to come up and ruin the vibe. We was having a cool moment. We was up here kicking it, and one of
Like
them comes
clockwork.
up and just throws it all off. Oh my God.
You know, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't know if it's because it's men, but I think BX said the least about that
She
female
did.
situation. So
Right.
why you come up here and
Came
attack
up
her?
because she thought I didn't have this voice, or that my real opinion is I ain't sitting around worried about it. I'm not. I have secondary trauma for seeing my people body after body after body after body after body after body, and none of them Democrats be talking about it, right? And I'm watching the Democrats, right, cry, give money, give this, give that to them folks. Now, if that was Black people for protesting one of our bodies dropping, we'd all be in handcuffs and Jay-Z will be paying our bail. I'm over this. At the end of the day, we're moving on, and the illegal still got to go. And what I'm really upset about is how them protesters are out there in Minnesota taking over that state, the city, whatever. Get them people to fuck in check in the United States of America. And then we can focus on the real enemy. We got too many people muddying the waters for us. I ain't got time to care right now. I ain't see Jasmine Crockett when Rasheed Carter in Mississippi, I think his name was Stephen Perkins. I ain't see her talking about Robert Brooks or anybody who was unalived in the New York City Correctional Facility. I ain't see these Democrats. So please, leave BX alone. If I'm quiet, it means I don't give a fuck anymore. I just don't want to hurt y'all feelings.
I'm gonna say something, and there's a comment. Somebody said, "Afro, why do you hate Somali people so much?" How do y'all just completely transform the conversation and make y'all the center of attention? Nobody, like quite literally, nobody said
Nobody saying anything about
anything
At
Somalis.
about
all.
Somalian people this
We're talking about
entire
white tea people
conversation.
right now.
And y'all want to come
Literally.
up and make this about y'all. That is crazy.
Because they
Yeah.
want to be the center of attention. Honestly, this was the most attention they ever got in their life the last like 2 or 3 weeks. And they love it. They love that shit. That much they say they don't like it, they love that attention because nobody really check. Let's be clear. Who's really checking for a Somali on a day-to-day basis? What's Somali culture or what? Nobody gonna care about nothing that they're doing, none of that. No, respectfully, no disrespect, but let's be clear. So that's what it's really about, right? They want to be the center of attention, right? And when we're not talking about it, they want to have this invisible beef that have nothing to do with us, but they have no energy for the white tea person. I haven't yet to see why Somali go after the white tea who's been pushing all the propaganda, who's been coming after them, who's been doing all this. I have yet to see them, but I've been seeing a million videos about us, and that's interesting. I'm like, we're not the one pushing the propaganda on the actual media, the news, and none of that. It's the white tea, but they have no energy. Soon as they see the white tee, they do that Ethiopian dance where they start shaking and the coon genes start activating, right? And because they love the white tee. But when it comes to somebody that's melanated, they got all the energy. That's really what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you say something to them, they want to act like they're the victim and say we're anti-African. That comes next, of course.
All right. Oh,
Meanwhile,
he's
didn't that woman just
Afro.
say?
I'm half Somalian white, and I love you. Okay. Well,
Okay.
all right then.
Um.
Let's get to the next bit. We got to wrap stuff up. I don't know what's going on now. They coming at full force. Somebody just sent the live to somebody. It's a flood of them in the
Yeah.
chat room all of a sudden. That's our time. That's our cue.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
have to
how
get up
cute, because
out of
I
here.
ain't got time. They still got to go. And
Yeah,
guess
it's
what? Did Donald Trump end the foreign aid to Somalia? To Somalia? I don't even know how to say the damn name. To the country? Did he end their foreign aid? That's what's going around.
mm-hmm.
That's what I care about, because I don't think African nations should get foreign aid. I literally don't. Y'all want to know what BX thinks? I think that foreign aid should cease. They got issues at home that could be directed to that so-called hood everybody be talking about, right? I don't think they should be able to come here and get all of these incentives and all of these businesses. They're told about programs that Black Americans are just finding about because we be up here trying to survive. I don't think their businesses should be in our neighborhood since they hate us so much. So I'm boycotting. That's what BX thinks. If you rob our government and you rob especially the most vulnerable side of our population, then guess what? All foreign aid to your country should end till we get back them millions, billions, whatever it is you took. No more poverty rice dropped from the sky for you guys. Africa is a mess, but Africa is complicit in its own condition. It's 80% Africans, 20% colonizers, right? You got all them resources over there. Like y'all say, we got this over there, we got that, well, go ahead and act like it. Stop fighting me harder to stay here, right? Over my little bitty opinion, and go home and fix your homelands. Y'all outnumber your colonizers. Do better, Africans. Thank you.
All right. Yep.
Alfred, you got a couple people campaigning in the chat, but what I would say is BX, when that lady came up here, she said she was in Canada, correct? But she was Somalian, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay. How is that beneficial to Somalia, her being in Canada or them being in Minnesota? Excuse me. Wow. I sound like Mace. Minnesota. Or them being in Minnesota. How is that beneficial to Somalia?
Right.
They have running
It's
toilets.
not.
But then
How
she had the
can
nerve to tell you to go back to Africa. Okay, where in Africa are you from, BX? That you can go back to?
Oh no, I'm a first world baby. I need a sixth worlder. Like I'm a
Correct.
first world baby.
So that's what they need to stop with, this go back to Africa situation. Ma'am, you're from Africa. You're from Somalia. You can call it Somalia all you want. It's on the continent that we call Africa.
Let me
Okay.
say this to people who feel that America is in our homeland. A foundational Black American's homeland is the one they can't be deported or denaturalized from. See that? I could repatriate to Africa. I could go into Ghana. I could go to Tanzania. I could go anywhere on that continent, and my foundational Black American ass can be deported from there. I could go to the Caribbean with my half Caribbean children, and guess who getting deported? My Black ass. Back to where? My homeland, the United States of America. Thank you.
Let's wrap things. Let's get to, and begrudgingly, we'll get to this person. Foundational Black African. Lord have mercy. This is our cue to go. Well, where are you from? Foundational Black African.
I'm from Gambia, West Africa.
Why do you call yourself a foundational Black African?
A troll named Game Changer.
Am I not a foundational Black African?
No, you're not.
No, you're foundational Ghanaian.
Yes, I
Just
am.
Ghanaian.
You Haitian, please let me talk. You are Haitian, you suggestion.
Okay, what do you want to say to the
I
prompt?
know you very well.
What do you want to say
What I want to say is there is difference between these two. I can tell you the difference. But I will come after, I will tell you the difference. But I want to say something.
Okay.
I want to say something. In my country, when someone pass away, it's no more. If you cannot say good, can you let me?
No.
I tell my country.
What's your country? So I'm clear. What's your country?
Did I not tell my country?
He said he's Ghanaian. Hey, dude, you don't need to have no attitude, man. Chill out with all that.
Don't do all that.
I say Gambia.
Oh,
not
Gambia.
Ghana.
Okay, sorry, we can understand that. Okay, continue.
So you shouldn't talk about me. You are from Haiti. I know you very well. You are
Who's
from
from Haiti? Look,
Who
brother,
is from
this
Haiti?
You are from Haiti.
Who? Me?
You are from Haiti. This guy is from Haiti.
No one up
This
here is
guy
from
is
Haiti.
Haiti. I don't come from you. Let me talk to this thing. Okay, if in my country, if
You gotta
someone pass
you
away,
gotta
if you
Who
cannot,
the hell
relax
is
your
Haitian?
oh my
yeah, you gotta
God,
relax your
this guy
egotistics,
is a
brother.
Haitian. Let me talk about
Who?
this
Who?
thing.
Hold
I
on,
will
you
come
can't just
after.
lie on nobody. You can't lie on nobody. Who
Okay,
is Haitian?
so get this suggestion is from Haiti. This guy on top of me.
Can
Who
you
is
name
Sage.
the person?
I'm
Sage
from,
is from Haiti.
She's from Haiti.
What the
I
fuck?
know this guy
I'm
is
from
from
Haiti.
Haiti. This guy is from
Okay.
Haiti. Yeah,
Okay.
you are from Haiti.
Okay. I learn something new every
That's
day.
insane.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
you gotta calm
Sage
you
is
let
gotta
me
Haitian.
calm your
complete.
bushmeat though, family.
Let me
You got
complete.
too much energy.
Let
Okay.
me complete. I will come after you. Okay, in my country, when someone is no more, if you cannot say good thing about him or her, you just keep quiet. It's better.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what? We're in
Okay.
America, so
Okay.
how
No,
about
no.
that?
Let me
How
talk,
about
please.
that?
Let me
How about we
talk,
just in
please.
America, and that's just
Oh
what it
my
is.
God.
We don't do that here. We talk, we
Please
analyze.
let me
And
talk.
here's the thing: we're not even disparaging her. We're not saying that it was she deserved
I
it or
know.
we're
I
happy
know.
for it.
Yes, I
But we
know.
are going to talk about the conditions of this country. We're in my
I know
country. We do
exactly.
this and we do this. Well, talk about your country in your country. How about that?
Exactly. I
How about
am
that? How
coming.
about you talk
I
about your
am
country in
coming.
your country then? Don't tell
Exactly.
us
I
what
am
we can
coming.
do in our
Let me
country.
come. Okay. What I want to ask is in Kenosa, I don't know Kenosa, the shooting, the white boy who take pew pew and unalive people in protest. Who were the victim? My question, who were the victim?
Okay, Afro, can I take this, please?
Go. I
I
can't
am
even
not
Because
talking to you.
understand
he
what he's
You
clearly
ask
saying.
lied
So
me.
on
go
Let
me.
me
ahead.
So
ask the host. Don't
Yeah,
talk
we
to
need a
me. Let me
translator.
ask
We
the
need a
host.
translator up
I
here.
mean,
Can we get a
you have a
translator?
very, very
Let me
thick
ask the
accent.
host.
We need some captions. I can't
Who were the
understand what he's
victim?
talking about.
Okay, let me repeat again.
You
No, please don't.
if he
Yeah,
ate, we don't like you
In
if he
Kenosa, the
ate.
white boy, I don't know, I forgot his name. Wait, please, let me talk. The
We
white
can't
boy
understand what you are
who
saying, my
picked
brother.
a pew pew. I'm going to protest. Listen to me carefully.
Are you going to
I'm not an
protest
Englishman,
bushmeat
and
or are
you
you?
are not either.
Somebody get Halo to
Please let
come
me
get this
talk.
no
Oh
cat.
my
one said
God.
that we are from England, sir. This is you're trolling, sir. No
We
one on
You
this
are
is.
damn
from
panel said
Haiti.
they
I
were
am
from
not saying
England.
that. Let me
The hell you
talk.
talking
I
about?
don't
We are
know
You are
why
from
that
Englishmen.
makes
Haiti.
me
What are you
so
talking about, sir?
You are
that is
from
so funny.
Haiti.
He said you are from Haiti. You are from.
He
That
keep
is so
You
funny.
are
repeating
I don't
from.
it.
know
This
why
guy
it's
is
so
from
funny.
Haiti.
That is
I
funny
know
to
this
me.
guy.
Dude,
You.
This this guy is from
Troll,
you
Haiti.
lucky
This
I
guy
Afro.
is
don't live
not
with my
black
mama,
American.
dude.
This guy is
You
from.
lucky I
He's a
don't live with my
troll.
mama. If I didn't live
Yeah.
with my mama, bro.
That is
Please
funny.
Listen,
He's
How
a
are
listen.
y'all? Okay, all
troll.
right.
okay.
Okay, hold on.
My question
All right,
Halo,
hold
We
on.
you
Let
gotta.
me
need to
ask
be
my
a
question
game
again.
No,
changer.
no. We've
Let
had
me.
enough.
On
We've heard
Sister
enough from you.
Halo.
All right.
We've
That's
heard
why I
enough
said
from
go
you.
get Halo. Because he's sweet on Sister Halo. He's a troll.
That
And he
is.
keep tearing us up telling Halo, I love you, Halo. And then in the next breath, he
Okay.
tearing us down.
We're gonna have to do this like the Can you see me, Afro? Hold
Yeah.
on.
Hold
We
on. Let
can
me.
see you, Sage.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Yeah, Sage. We got some questions for you now. You've been lying to
Yeah,
us
because
this
I'm
whole
Haitian.
time.
Hold on. How you turn this camera around real quick? I want y'all to see something real quick since I'm Haitian. Hold on. Hold on. Because you know what I'm about to do, Afro. Hold on.
He turned the camera on. You're not gonna play with his name like that.
Hold on. Hold on.
You're
Just
not gonna
why
play
would
with
he
his name.
say that out of all things? You're Haitian. Why
Called
would
that
he
Me?
say
man.
that?
Me?
Called
Me?
that man a
I've
Haitian.
been
That's crazy.
certified. What the hell? Hold on. Because I'm going to just take you to my car. And it's raining. You stay. Stay.
How
And
is
I can
Ghost doing,
start.
by the way? How's the
I mean,
dog doing?
at least he ain't call you African. I mean, we
He
get, you
good.
know.
Hold on. It's raining out here. Hold on.
Sage got offended. Okay. Sage, you better
This a
let him
Haitian
know.
flag right here, bro? That's a Haitian flag right there, dude?
Not at all.
Okay, hold on. Let's go through it. What's this? This a Haitian flag right here, dude? Let's do it. What we doing, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing out? Who's Haitian, bro? And don't know Haitians live over here either, brother. Don't know Haitians live over here, dude. The hell is you talking about, bruh? Who's Haitian? What happened? All right, I'm going back home. I'm gonna stop. I'm done. I'm done.
He
Listen,
ain't playing about that Haitian. Oh, don't disrespect him.
he gonna come. The guy gonna come back and be like, "That is not real, nigga."
What
My
does that
thing
mean?
is,
What does that mean? That doesn't prove anything.
okay. My
Why
thing
would
is, bro, like,
he was on 10 from the start. He was like on 10 from the start. Like,
Yeah,
no,
he
no, let
was.
me speak to the host. Let me speak. Let me say something. Let me say something.
He was on 10.
Afro, you know they be eating all them exotic animals and shit. He probably was hyped off all that.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
got from eating a damn giraffe neck or something and felt confident.
Maybe because we were talking about Kevin Porter being Haitian, he probably thought he said he was Haitian, and then that's why he started like coming up here and saying maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Like he just started going crazy.
he did. He just
Like,
wilded out for no reason. This is okay. I don't know. It's a little early for the full moon to be out, but okay. He said, in my country, we don't say anything about dead people. I don't know how true that is, but you're not in your country. How about that?
don't they actually eat like the bones and stuff like that? Like no, I'm not even trying to be funny. They do like for real for rituals and stuff like they do rituals and so that's
Yeah,
what
yeah. But I don't know how true they honor their deceased. I don't know how true that is.
yeah, they be
I,
doing. They use the bones and you do rituals, and that's why I'm like, why he acting brand new? Like they don't be actually doing things in their
I don't
country.
just say this. There are rumors that they probably smoke on ashes or some shit like that. But I'm not gonna say it's true or not. They might smoke their ancestors. I don't know.
oh.
They might use the bones as a pipe or some shit.
Eat goosey bone soup and shit like that.
Yeah.
Eat goosey bone soup.
I can't find my, the big FBA flag. I'm looking for that, but I can't seem to find it.
We
I'm not
believe
even
you, brother.
fully.
You good, man. You don't have to
Oh no,
put
I ain't.
nothing
No,
in.
it's not about y'all. And by the way, before that goes like quote unquote viral. Before that goes viral, I have no white neighbors. By the way, so all of those houses that you've seen, there's nothing but black people that live around me. So I don't want people to say, "Oh, you guys don't own stuff, or you don't do this, you don't do that." We own houses. I don't know where these myths that are put into your head, when it comes to these Africans, whatever, but you're not doing any better than us. You're not more fly than us. None of that works out like that. Now I'm about to go lay back down, brother.
All right, yeah, go ahead. This man get up out the bed. He said, "Hold on, I cannot
I mean,
sit
being
here and
from New
allow this
York does not make
disrespect."
you Haitian, brother. That's what I don't understand. Just because a person is from New York, don't mean we Caribbean, dude. What the? And shout out to the Caribbeans. We not disrespecting the Caribbeans, but we're just not them. And again, BX, you know how it is up here. You know how it is, bro.
BX,
They
what?
wear they wear
BX
their
is
flags high.
BX.
They
Why you muting my groupies? Why you doing that?
what happened?
No, you are focused. And first of all, I recognize that profile. So we've been having some issues with the Latina women coming in here, starting the gender divide, your men, and they always going after Sister Halo because she be eating their asses up. Like, I'm over them. Don't come in here being sweet on our men, knowing that you be talking the hella dog shit about us in these chats. And it's annoying. So I muted her. I didn't block her.
I
She could
know,
come back
I'm
when she
playing
has
with you.
a
I'm
good
playing.
time and
There's this Somali woman. She been in a couple of my chats talking about Afro. I'm in love with you. Afro, I want to marry you. And BX muted her. I'm like, BX, come on, man. I can just these tethered
Hold on.
groupies. Come on,
Now hold on, Afro.
foundational
She dead
black. He
serious because
wasn't
she
a
DM me.
foundational black American.
no,
We
she was
don't play
look.
She
She
that
DM
want
me
that
way.
trying to
green
get to
card
you.
for real.
No, she
She
DM me.
want
She
the
DM me
green
trying to
card
get to
for
you.
real.
Like, Jay, she said, please
What
tell
you said,
Afro I want him. She
please?
DM me. I'm like, hold on.
She,
Why you DM me talking about Afro? Please tell Afro I want him. I'm like, what the? It's real, family.
oh
Hey,
damn.
they
Okay.
she wants you because she can pass you off as a Somali into her family. That's why she like.
Mm,
See, I kept it in the community. I didn't go outside the community.
uh, all right. This was fun. This was funny. This last 30 minutes or so was kind of funny.
Call me
Yeah.
out like
You
that.
got.
Why
I
you
don't know why. I'm
why
playing.
you be calling me out like
I'm
that?
look.
But she gonna feed you that bananas and rice and some meat. But they eat the bananas with their food.
mhm.
I mean, she may not even be Somalian for real. She may be Nigerian. You know they be scamming. They double scammers. You don't know what you're gonna
Yeah,
get.
she might be. You saying she a
And
catfish?
you,
She might be a catfish. I don't
definitely a
know.
definitely a catfish. Shoot, they don't ever show their face on here, but swear they the finest thing walking on
Yeah.
God's green earth.
She
They be
said,
coming on God.
I'm the most beautiful woman in my village."
They come on the they come on the lowest internet line and be on Donald Trump's TikTok harassing folks. They need to stop it.
No.
DDG being told by that Nigerian lady he wasn't Nigerian. Well, I think she was Nigerian, but an African lady told him, "You are not Nigerian." He was mad. That was funny because he took the DNA test and he took his tail over there talking about he was Nigerian or some mess.
Mm-hmm.
And then a continental African told him, "You not Nigerian."
Damn.
Mm-hmm. That shit was funny. I can't
Yeah,
tell.
that's
But
how they be. That is how they be. But I don't think you've spoken yet. But there's we can't be here all day. I got other things that I got to do. So I got to wrap
yeah, let me
things up
make this.
eventually.
Yeah, let me
Unfortunately.
make this quick. Let me make this quick then, so you can go ahead and go about your day, brother Afro. Not the same. Stop comparing the two. Definitely not the same. Because look, George Floyd got pulled over in a traffic stop. He wasn't even doing nothing wrong. This lady and her he she counterpart or she he counterpart, however y'all want to put it, I don't know. The rainbow community definitely confuses me with their pronouns. I'm not even gonna lie, very confused. But she literally got coerced by her counterpart to go round the car into a U.S. federal agent. No matter how y'all view ICE, they are working in the capacity of the law that was given to them to work inside. So whatever they're doing, no matter how you feel about it, they're still within the law to do so. You cannot ram your car into a federal ICE agent and then not expect to not get unalived afterwards. Like, what did y'all think? But this is the thing, though. I blame their parents because their parents taught them that they didn't have to necessarily fear the police. Like, they didn't have that talk with their kids, or how our parents had that talk with us, and how we got to have the talk with our. They are
Mm-hmm.
literally they should have taught that girl how to comply with the law. Everything that they tell us, she should have complied, should have followed orders, shouldn't have been yelling. All them things that they say about us, yeah, that's what she shouldn't have did. See, what I'm realizing is that all these people, especially white people, because they love to say the N word and they love to refer to themselves as nigga this and nigga that. So, and words are spells. So, they didn't cast the spell on themselves to be niggas. And now they getting nigga treatment and they don't know how to deal with it. Now they on there crying, talking about the ICE agents of this and they're even. No, 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 no. All y'all wanted to be niggas until it was time to be a nigga. And now that it's time for y'all to be a nigga, you don't want to be a nigga. You see how that works? Y'all are going through an identity crisis, a mental crisis, a sexual identity crisis. Y'all are just having crisis on top of crises on top of crises. Y'all are going through a whole new version of the blue blinded plague. And this time it's not even physical. It is a mental blue blinded plague. It is sad and terrible what the white community has come to in these times in America. I am
Mm.
very, very, very disappointed in the white tea community. They can do better. I know they can do better, but god damn it, they just refuse to show us anything better. And you know what, brother Afro, I'm here for the show. I got my popcorn. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm going to laugh. And I'm going to tell these people that they need to keep their white asses in the house like us black folks. Y'all don't see niggas out there protesting, now do you? Okay, then. Follow the lead, white people. Keep up, white people, as Cat Williams would say. We got a bunch of insurgents, domestic and foreign, running amok around here. And they think just because that they got the skin to fit in, that they ain't gonna have to deal with their sins. And they stupid for thinking that. And I'll land there.
All right. I like the way you put that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm gonna let everybody, on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, get their final words in about a minute or so, and then we'll close it up. We'll wrap it up. So let's go to Denzimas. You ain't spoke for a little bit, so we go to you.
Yes, can you just tell me what is this woman's name again? Because I'm going to say it again real quick. What's her name again?
Renee Good, Renee Nicole Good, or something like that. It was
Okay.
Renee. I know her first name's Renee, and then I think it's Nicole Good.
Okay. Well, look, I'm gonna just say, white tea people, y'all have complete and utter control over this country. Y'all had a 400-year start. Y'all set the effing precedent, and this is what y'all have created. So you're gonna have to eat the consequences. But as far as us FBAs, we just gonna mind our own business now. And I assume some of us in here are gonna be smoking on that Renee pack. That's all I have to
Mm.
say. B1 as always.
Like first to you, brother. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Foundation, you want to go?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, it's unfortunate that she got put on a t-shirt. But the thing is, what we gotta understand, we gotta mind our American business. Right? We can't be going out there protesting. She went out there, she drove far, she mined other people's business, and unfortunately, she paid the price. Right? And so, what we have to do is not go out there and do the same thing. We're not going to go out there and protest people that's doing fraudulent activity, which is the Somali community. We're not going to go and do that. Right? They got to fix it and hold their own too. They are shocked because they've been hiding under the moniker of black. They've been hiding under our umbrella of black, and now the delineation has been working to the point where now they call it ethnicity now, and they don't know what to do. They're shocked right now. So celebrate, be happy with yourself, family, because our delineation is working. Again, we just gotta mind our own business. We're projected to do $103 trillion by 2050. We just got to stay the course. We got to do our own group economics and mind our American business. That's it. Find a black American owned business. Make sure at least 85% of your average monthly income outside of utilities and savings go into black American owned business and start shopping with ourselves. Do the homework to look for your black American owned business near you, and let's do the work, family. It's work, but it's worth it because there's the reason why they have something called convenience stores, because they know make you convenient, then you're going to spend a bag with them. So if your business is an hour, 30 minutes away, whatever, take that drive to that black American business, family. It's worth it, and you're going to feel good, and you're going to start a movement in your community. All right. I love y'all. Wish y'all the best. Y'all peace and love. Key. Thank you so much, Afro. I appreciate you. Thank you, ZZ, BX, and everybody else. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Thank you. Thank you.
You too.
Yep. Sage, you got it.
So if the Latinos were out there, they understand that you do things from the good moral compass of your heart. But if you scroll into a room and you use that as a one-upper, your intentions were never good. You was bored and just out there because of the pandemic, right? Okay. And there's also good. I'm glad this was brought up. So Pew Research, them people there, did a survey, and black people said, well, they thought things would improve after the George Floyd incident. A year later, over half of those black people said things will never change for us. So people like the Latinos, the Somalians, and every other demographic that said, well, I march for you, George Floyd, and all of this other stuff, y'all dropped the ball. Y'all did. And so the onus is on you to hold your own nuts, because you can't name me 5 incidents that you were out there with us when we were by ourselves, and 5 instances afterwards. Because George Floyd, may he rest in peace, wasn't our only tragedy or fallen lineage member.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Sage, you get it.
Yeah, first of all, shout out from Haiti. Second of all, I remember, well, I wasn't here, but I remember reading and hearing about when Fred Hampton was assassinated by police officers. And I don't remember such a huge outcry then, specifically from the white tea community who assassinated him. Fred Hampton was 21 years old. He was a young man that was on the come up that wanted to bring, honestly, everyone together, quote unquote, a rainbow coalition. And to this day, a lot of people would refer to him as a thug. Now, Fred Hampton did things that I guess the white tea man did not agree of. He did things that were against the grain, but they were needed to be done. Fred Hampton was the chairman of the Black Panther Party. And Fred Hampton had courage at such a young age. They had to get rid of him. This Mrs. Good person is no comparison. She is fighting a war for people that would not fight for her, or she tried to fight a war for people that would not fight to you. I would use this time as a warning to anyone that is from the white tea community. Don't fight wars for people that will not fight for you. And to my black people, don't fight one racist to benefit another racist. And with that, I'm going to land.
Thank you for that, Sage. Appreciate you.
Stop, I say. Whatever it is.
All right. Make sure if you guys want to listen to the playback, which this is good. This was a good one. And we will be doing this more regularly. We've been having, the new year. We got business we got to handle and all that stuff. So our schedule's been kind of, getting back to normal. So we going to get back to normal or whatever. Have these more often. Sometimes we go days without it, but we going to get it. We're going to get it together. We just been busy. We've been busy handling business. And I appreciate y'all patience. So y'all want to go to For the Culture on YouTube and subscribe. And to everybody listening on YouTube, because there'll be people listening on the playback, shout out to y'all for subscribing and listening. Thank you very much. All right. ZZ, are you with us?
Yes, I am. This rain is egregious, but I'm up in here. Yeah, closing thoughts, man. The fact that anybody, it's an insult, it's a false equivalency, it's idiotic, it's untruthful, it's literally a damn shame for anyone to compare what happened to that white woman to what happened to our brother George Floyd. It's incomparable. I'm sorry, the comparison is just not even possible. And this is not something that black Americans should be prioritizing. This is not our fight. If these white women want to get out here on the front lines and risk their lives for something that ain't got nothing to do with them, then that's their choice. That's fine. But what we're not going to do is sit here and act like they are going to be given some sort of veil of privilege, which they already are, but some sort of pedestalization where they're protected from any sort of accountability. Baby, you want to get out there in the front lines, then that's your decision. You got to deal with the consequences that come with that. That's fine. You want to interact and follow the damn police and agents and try to interrupt while they doing their job? That's fine. But you're going to get the consequences that come with that. And no, I'm not about to sit here and cry and whine or protest about some shit that you could have prevented. So, it is what it is. It is what the fuck it is. Shout out to us. We ain't worried about them. Their delineation is the only thing we worry about, man. All of them shit, they be at.
All right. There you have it. All right, BX. Can you close this out, please?
We haven't done this in a while. Let me see if I'm rusty. Afro, so I gotta ask you, when's the next time you coming live on TikTok?
No. What's tomorrow? Oh no, not tomorrow morning.
Sunday I'm unavailable. You know that.
Yeah, maybe Monday, because tomorrow morning, and then I guess to do tomorrow, so maybe Monday would be the soonest I could go. If not Monday, then Tuesday. I'll have some time Tuesday in the day.
Okay. So this was a good topic. I just it's not a hard concept to understand. It wasn't to degrade Renee there. It was just to say the two instances are different. I want everybody to know, if you are an immigrant, see the picture there? That's what America has always been about. The natives was like out.
BX, can I say one thing too? Can I say one thing before you go ahead? Because I don't want to cut you off. I just want to say this before you go ahead. People are saying that we made George Floyd out to be some type of hero. We didn't. We didn't make George Floyd out to be some hero in the black community. George Floyd is not a hero in the black community. He was not a role model. What we did was say George Floyd was a victim. That's the thing. What happened to George Floyd was wrong. We didn't memorialize George Floyd as if he was a hero. They're trying to make her not only a victim, they're trying to make her a hero in their community. See, we understand there's a difference between what they're doing and what we're doing. We were saying that George Floyd was an innocent man who was victimized by police brutality and racism. And they tried to gaslight that by saying, oh, you guys are making him a hero. But the same people who tried to gaslight us and say we were making George Floyd a hero are the same people trying to make her a hero. And I just got to call that hypocrisy out. But go ahead, BX.
So that prompt there, America has always been about black and white once the natives were pushed off their land, right? So they're like our
Mm.
distant cousins that we talk about at family reunions. Some of us even talk to them. But if you are an immigrant, a child of immigrants, your futures really aren't secured here in America. You are USA citizens and not Americans. So you're deportable. Y'all are buffer classes, foundational black Americans, all that go back to Africa and stuff like that. That's if we're willing to go over there and have, try to feed into their economy and make a life over there. But our homeland is the one that our ancestors built that we can't be deported or denaturalized from. All of you others could, right? See how that works? So it's time to move past this. It happened. It's over. I'm over it. The illegals still have to go. It's a legal framework, 1996, Bill Clinton's Immigration Reform Act. He implemented the expedited removal. So Trump is within his presidential powers and telling people this country is American first, and if you're illegal here, you got to go and do things the right way. Y'all have abused every privilege extended to y'all and turned on the indigenous black people of this land. And notice this, they say we don't have no power, but every other group wants black Americans' attention, our attention to protest, our voices. They do snaky and undermining things to lock us out of stuff. But we've always been fair to people, and this is why you're getting you're still an immigrant wake-up call. And we're not.
All right, there we go. That's true. Real talk. Okay. And with that being said, you all be safe. I know it's snowing out where it's going to be snowing out here later on. It's raining out where you guys are, or where some people are at. Be safe. Stay out of other people's business. I think that's the overall message. Everybody be safe and let's mind our Black American foundational Black American business. That being said, y'all have a good night.
Peace and be one.
Be one. Papier katifa, mom.